For these nerds for these records.
We're ready. We're starting. Hello, my name is William Burnett, and I'm sitting here with Sybil Jason, and you're watching Talk Video. I don't know what you were trying to call it, something, but it's a video show, interview
Vlog.
show, vlog. I'm a
I
vlogger.
forgot the word for vlog. I was like, vlog. That's right. That's what you're calling it now. I was like, you're a YouTuber.
YouTube. I'm trying to compare myself to like Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson's good.
or Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
No, or you said Angie Martinez has a show like this.
I grew up with Hot 97, so well, because she has her radio show, but it's sponsored by, I forget, some big company, but she has her whole logo, so it's like aired.
Talking to it good.
It's aired on YouTube. I mean, yeah, aired on YouTube and then on the air, like Hot 97. Or no, she's not on Hot 97 anymore. She's on 103.5. But she's been a
She's a radio personality from New York. New York radio personality, Angie Martinez.
I grew up with her. And then she also had her little hits in the early 2000s.
Yeah, and then now she's not on the radio anymore. I don't.
She is.
Oh, see, I switched from Hot 97 to WBLS.
She's on that, I think. 103 some.
No, that's Kiss FM.
Oh, the old Kiss FM. 98.7.
What's 103.5? I can't remember the name of it, but that one I don't listen to. And I don't listen to Hot 90. I used to listen to Hot 97 sometimes, but not.
It's just trash.
No, it's not. I'm not my sprinklers, you know. The sprinklers.
Well, Angie Martinez is like, for me, Angie and Wendy Williams don't like each other, but they were the women like growing up when I was a kid listening to on the radio, and now they're like, Wendy has an empire, and then Angie Martinez got inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame, which is really cool.
So I'm gonna have to watch her podcast because I love.
She'll have like.
Things, and I was a big fan of Hot 97. So even though she might not have been on it.
Yeah,
she was on Hot 97, right?
She was.
Yeah,
until
for sure.
Like early, maybe like 10 years ago or something. I don't know, but she's like on She might be on 103.5 or whatever, 105. I don't know. I don't listen. But I'll just be like, oh, Little Kim, what she got to say. And then she'll just get she gets people to open up very candidly on camera, but they're like this, talking with their, and then it's Angie Martinez's logo, and then it's sponsored.
So you watch these things sometimes?
Yeah, like my explore page on Instagram will show me something because I like, sometimes follow.
But you're not like looking for them through YouTube.
Well, if I've watched, how YouTube is. If you watch something enough times, it's like suggested, and I'm like, okay, Angie, who's she talking to now? And it's usually I like watching like people that she brings old school friends, and they had that song, that hit song, like Angie, Little Kim, whatever.
Yeah.
Like 2000
that was like some
2000
Bad Boy Days or something.
It was post that. It was like, it was a Angie song, I think, and then like
Ja Rule was probably on there.
No, it was all women. It was like women's anthems. I forget the name of the song. I should know this because I'm like a hip hop head, but no.
No, all right. Let's did I send you a link to one of these shows? Have you watched one before?
No, you have not.
I thought I sent you. I've been sending everybody Veronica's because I put it on YouTube like hidden already, and I thought that you might have watched it. So usually we like kind of talk about where you're from, how you grew up, what tapes you bought at the mall, and then it kind of get into like how you got to where you are now and why you're involved in. Like the general idea is we talk about music stuff.
Yeah.
So a little introduction. Sybil Jason, you're originally from New Jersey? No.
Yeah. Well, born in Brooklyn, raised in Haiti from 3 months to 6. And then Jersey, right across the river in Hudson County, like next to Jersey City. So people are like, you either have to be from New York City to know or just know the area. It's called North Bergen.
So I just think of you as from Jersey. You spent your formative years in Jersey, like you were a teenager there.
I was a teenager, being really ratchet in the not ratchet, but just kind of like
in Jersey.
In Jersey, like on the waterfront, literally.
And somehow at this point now you were living in Europe kind of for a while.
5 years ago. 5 years ago this past week. It's crazy.
You were living there, and you're a DJ now. Like
I've always been a DJ.
No, but I mean, like that's your job. Before you had like other jobs.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not like people are like, you're killing it. I'm like,
So we're gonna try to. So the idea is that, like, the main idea with the show is that like we're gonna have a conversation and people will feel like they're involved and maybe the younger people like can see the path that you took and learn something from it, and maybe
Yeah.
help them out. That's the idea that I have. Like,
I didn't pick this, guys. It picked me, but it all makes sense. No, really, it's I've had it. This is 15 years now since I've learned to DJ. So,
yeah,
a lot of things that are tied to me, like Farst, I never expected it to be more than a blog, or I never expected the name to be anything but just this corner on the internet in 2006, and now it's tied to me and the bird and everything and all of that whole background, which we can get into. But
yeah. So you're doing all right, but you start out. You're born in Haiti. Do you remember?
no, born in Flatbush.
Born in Flatbush.
Raised, which is funny because people always think that, but my mom took me back at 3 months old, which is great because I got to experience Haiti.
Why did she do that? That seems like usually it's the other way around.
Immigrant parents do this.
So they wanted you to like learn the language and
Yeah, and I think it was just easier for my mom.
because it's hard here.
Yeah, I mean, my mom. Okay, she's gonna watch this, so hi, mom. But like, she moved to America almost 40 years ago, 1980, and it's really hard to adjust to somewhere foreign. You know what I mean? Especially in the 80s, like things were crazy, and
So she had been in New York like 5 or 6 years, and had you, and then she was like, "Oh, this is I'm going back to my family."
Well, she was already like kind of back and forth.
Okay.
Like she was in Haiti a lot, and just kind of like me when I first moved to Europe, I was just like, I don't know about this place, like.
Well, and also tell me if you don't want to answer any of these questions, you don't have to do. Like, if you're oh, this is rude.
No, I'm very open. It's just more like my mom's gonna be watching. I was like, "You're telling my business to the whole internet." And I'm like, "Oh well, this is my story too." So
we'll be respectful.
No, she's cool. She's I wish she was here, but most people know my mom or they know of her because of.
I can't remember if
I don't think you remember my mom. She was at the rooftop party 8 years ago, but that massive rooftop party where she met like 20 people in 2 minutes and was like, "I'm going home." Around the corner.
It seems familiar.
She's come into the thing before, like Jeremy Chupacabras has met her, and Anyway, so the point is, so my mom had me and then brought me back at 3 months, and I spent my formative years in Haiti.
And was your dad here or there?
He was there, but he wasn't in my life, so.
Okay.
It's just funny that like I do everything that he has done or used to do. He's passed on, but it's funny because it just he wasn't in my life, and it's just like this genetic thing that skipped everyone but me.
It's in your DNA.
It's really, that's why I'm like, radio, we're doing radio but video.
So what I mean, so you're saying this, your father did radio and
he was a radio personality, TV personality, actor
in Haiti.
Yeah.
And that was during the 80s, I guess.
The whole time until he died.
Oh, so up until recently.
And then he was an actor too in Haitian movies.
So he was like a famous dude in Haiti.
He was very famous. When I went to the funeral, it was
crazy.
It was.
I didn't. I mean, I remember that one time I found a picture in the thing, and I was like some dude playing the keyboard. Like.
It was the Haitian president.
Yeah, and you were like, and I was like, how do you know what the Haitian?
Because he's like the most famous person everyone knows now. But like, Sweet Mickey.
Did I give you that picture? I don't know what I did with it.
I don't know, but I asked you for it, but I was in Europe.
I think
at
I
the time.
kept it, and I have it somewhere. I have to find it.
You have it, yeah. No, it's cool because I was just like, whoa, that's Sweet Mickey, and then I was literally on a plane back to Europe.
So your dad is. He's.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, yeah, no, that's fine. He was a very famous dude, and it's like funny because my whole life everybody was like, when I learned to DJ like in New York, in the 2000s or whatever, we'd go out and at this time we'd just be going out, like friends would be like, my friend Gina would always be like, tell him about your dad. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about my dad, because everybody thought it was funny that I had a famous dad in another country.
But it's weird, like you want to go out and make it on your own, and not like ride anybody's coattail. So it's completely understandable to not want to mention that.
It's weird because I didn't get anything from him. Like, he wasn't in my life, and when he first heard me on East Village Radio, he called me and he was like, "Oh my God, baby, I can't believe it! My only child on the radio! Oh my God!" That's how he talked, like in English too. And I was like, "Yeah," and because I always liked radio, when I was a kid. Yeah. My mom bought me a tape recorder. This is the 90s, that you could record off the radio. And so I would record off the radio, and I'd be like, "This is Sybil Jason with 98.7 Kiss FM," like literally 8 years old. And I've always wanted to be on radio. And so like I've thought about how like, people bring up like, you've done a lot of radio. like, you've done a lot of radio. And I'm like, yeah. And all those mixes I have, and then Forest, and just, like, keeping it up in 2006 glory.
Yeah. But let's talk about the Haiti thing. You were a little kid, just like
so 6.
wearing dresses and taking pictures, being sad. That's what
I'm not sad because of Haiti. I'm sad because my grandma puts me in this, like, dress.
What would you rather be wearing?
I don't know. I was just
like regular clothes.
Yeah, she would just, like, make me. But the nice thing is, like, she would make these dresses for me, make me the cake, take me across the street to the studio. My mom's in America, so she wants to send these pictures and just, like, pay the photographer across the street. And it's so sweet, but I'm, like, confused, and I'm like, I don't want this cake, and I want to go home. So, like, so
your mom would go back and leave you with grandma sometimes.
Yeah, like my that's what a lot of families do. A lot of immigrant families do. And so my mom, like, finally, like, she just was.
She got settled enough to bring you over.
Yeah. Finally, like, on her own.
And you were 6.
So the funny thing is, my mom just told me recently, like, since I came back in December, since I've been back, she said, you were stuck here, you and your grandma. You were supposed to start first grade. My grandma paid for tuition, made my dress and everything. At that point, I was, like, speaking okay French, so I was speaking, I still speak Creole, but, because it was my first language, but so we were stuck since that, like, summer. I didn't look anything about the embargo, but there was a U.S. embargo on Haiti, and we were stuck, we couldn't leave. So my grandma I started first grade that January, and so my mom just assumed.
In Haiti, you said?
No,
here.
Here, in New Jersey.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so. And then they didn't put me in ESL, so they just immersed me in normal classes, and I learned English in, like, 2 weeks.
Yeah, because little kids can just do that.
I know, and so my mom didn't keep speaking to me in French, which is, hi, Mom, not a bad thing, but, like, for me, when I finally ended up in France,
it would have helped.
I understand French. People talk to me, and I'm just like, Franglais? Just, like, speaking, like, Creole. Like, my brain wants to speak Creole, and then I have to try to, French is so hard,
Yeah.
So
and they also kind of get offended when you speak it wrong, I guess.
Yeah, but you know what? For some reason, they find me charming, or maybe I think a friend of mine now told me that French people are Parisians are nicer to Americans because of our president. So that's what I was told.
Our new president or
current president? That guy, some person that's sitting in office.
I don't know. That's weird. I don't believe it.
I did see like French people are generally nicer to Americans now. And I have a lot of French.
Like, feel bad for us, or
I don't know. I just think it's a different thing now. I think more people are trying to speak English.
I never had the problem with French people. I never saw the rudeness. I think it was always to me like if you did the hello, please, and thank you, you're fine.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, then they treat you like an animal.
I mean, I came to France late, like at the end of my European time.
Yeah.
So I was really kind of like, I love Paris. Why wasn't I here all this time? Oh, okay.
But so you can't. The French is not. You want to. You can understand it. But Creole comes out, but is that
my brain is just like I understand. It's just because So
is it that much different? Is it like to me, as in my naive world view, I would think that it's similar to like an English person trying to understand a Jamaican person, but it's a bigger difference between.
Yeah.
It's a bigger, like,
it's a huge difference. It's like, it's a phonetic French, but like, French people are like, I don't understand. And then they always want to compare it to Guadeloupe and Martinique Creole. Yeah. It's not the same. It's not the same. And also, they don't know anything about Haiti.
Because like my only experience with Creole is like I spent like 2 weeks in St. Lucia with my friend one time.
And that's a different.
Yeah, and they spoke Creole, but he could also.
Oh yeah, they have a French Creole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I couldn't. Yeah.
We all have our own Creoles.
I didn't realize they were, but I thought they're similar enough to understand each other. Or
I mean, like if I listen to Kassav, Zouk, like growing up, my mom and I would be like, "What is that word?" Like we don't know what that means. You know, like we understand the whole song, but there would be like some random words where like this is a Guadeloupe thing, and like people from Guadeloupe will be like, they get annoyed. Like French people think that like all the Creoles are the same. Haitian Creoles are the most different from everyone else because we also have a lot of words from English, like from American English. And Spanish, obviously, because we share an island. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I mean, there's just a whole history about it that I haven't really looked into, but
it's pretty old for a Caribbean country, I guess.
Yeah, and we were the first to revolt, so the French are like, we don't know anything about Haiti. I'm like, of course you don't. Yeah. Like, you guys just forgot about us. We don't even have, like, French passports.
So the Haiti thing, it affected your life, that you were stuck somewhere. Just because of where your parents
Well,
are
I
from.
didn't know I was stuck until like literally this year. My mom never. It was just like a thing. Like, you're in school now. You're not going back to Haiti. Like, I never understood.
But for them, it was probably just like, why should you know? You don't need to know that.
Yeah, it's
weird.
weird.
That's the way they thought. But
right, and
but I guess not. But now that you're old enough to really understand, she finally told you. Or
yeah. Mom, sorry you're watching.
No,
you're
but why not? It seems
she
okay.
was like, like we were just talking. I don't know. It was just like something on the news. She's like, when just the embargo came up.
They're just trying to protect you.
Yeah, but you don't like. I'm not gonna say this because it's on air and she's gonna watch this. So, one time I went to Haiti. The last time I went to Haiti before I went to my dad's funeral in '92, I went for a holiday for a month, and then my mom just didn't tell me that we moved to another town in New Jersey. So I came back to a different house, like really tired from the airport. Like, okay, woke up and was like, so we moved, and she's like, yeah, and I'm like, okay. So yeah.
But in her eyes, she was probably making a new home for you.
Yeah, but she could have told me on the ride from JFK to New Jersey that, like, hey, when you get home, it's a different house. It's a different setup.
I don't. She probably I'll just defend her. She probably thought she was doing a wonderful thing.
I know my mom's gonna be watching this and being like, "Thank you."
Well, I can see her point of view. Like,
no, I'm not mad about it. Yeah. But it's like, it's funny because I didn't even ever think about the embargo.
But you probably would have got mad either way.
I wouldn't be mad.
You don't want to be mad your whole vacation. You'd rather be mad when you get back.
No, she wasn't gonna tell.
You were mad that she didn't tell you, or you were mad that you moved?
I wouldn't be mad. I would have been like, okay, fine. You know, like, whatever. You got to do what you got to do. She moved me to a better neighborhood. Yeah. And she did so as a single mom, so big up to her.
So you said that was 92, so then you're already...
I was 7.
7. So this is your neighborhood that you spent your middle school, high school, same house?
Yeah.
And what that is...
Well, not the same house, but same neighborhood.
Area code.
Same area code, same neighborhood in that giant town. And
then... Wait, what town is it again? Sorry.
North Bergen.
North Bergen. All right, okay.
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
We've had the same mayor since I was basically born. And I didn't vote. I wasn't around to vote. I was playing in Panorama Bar.
But Jersey is like a...
It's right there.
It's right there. It's
like Ridgewood.
Yeah, it's like a... But it's something that I know nothing about. Like,
I know. It's so... But, you know, like Sojo Spa? You know, everybody's going to Sojo Spa. Everyone... It's a spa, like, on the waterfront. You could take a bus from Port Authority. And it's like King Spa, but it's actually like someone's like fake bougie... Jersey bougie, and I was like, it's nice, it's fine, it's like 5 minutes from my house.
Spray tan?
No, it's just like a spa. Like, you pay $50
I've never been to a
for
spa before.
Yeah, you're not a spa person, I know.
I've been. I always had this like bad. You know, I always thought like Jersey Shore was nasty, and then finally like 10 years ago, I was like went and I was like, whoa, this is a pretty nice beach.
Yeah, Jersey's okay. See the Jersey I'm from is like some weird Jersey. It's like
you're
Queens.
like, but you're from New York. Yeah, it's like
yeah. That's why I'm like, I'm born in New York. I spent 10 years coming of age in New York City.
It's like Brooklyn on the other side. It's like there's a Manhattan in one side.
It's literally across the river. Yeah. It's like right outside of the tunnel. So it's like, you know, I'm grateful for that.
So you're but I don't know what, but what's the difference between Jersey and is there any?
I don't know, really. Because, I mean, I do have an accent, and I feel like some things are very Jersey specific. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's also just, like, sounds like you're from New York. Like, when I arrive in Newark is, like, my home airport. Like, I think they know me now. Like, all the customs guys, they're like, they don't even give me crap anymore. They're just like, hey, like, oh, you got a German residency, huh? And I'm like, shh, don't put me on blast. You know, like, just making jokes and, like, filling out the form for me because the mobile app doesn't work. Like, they're just nice. And they some, you know, the last time I flew back, some Remainer tried to, like, mess with me, some British drunk guy, and I was just started.
We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, no, but it's funny because, like, the customs guys were like, let us know if you need us, because he started to fight in front of me, in front of the customs people with me, and I was like, you're on my turf now.
Watch out.
Yeah, they were like, let us know if you need us, and I was like, this is my airport, Newark Airport.
I guess I'm just saying that because I don't have much Jersey experience, so
I mean, my Jersey's fake Jersey. It's like a weird it's like Ridgewood. Yeah. But nicer, and it's also just, I don't know. I can see the Empire State Building from my window.
Yeah. It's like you go up on that hill a little bit. You're like a little.
Yeah,
higher.
It's on top of a hill. Yep.
I know. I drive through there. You know, I've driven around. We used to, when I was in the late 90s, like in '99 when I first moved here, 2000. We would drive around Jersey and like look for record stores.
There weren't many.
There was a couple. Like
I used to order from Mike Simonetti all the time, and he would be super late. And I was in college at the time in Jersey City, and it'd be like 3 weeks later, I'd be like, hey, what's up with this record? Hey, you know, I can just pick it up. I'm in college, like right by there, and he would just ship it out like the next day. This is like 2003. And that was like, we'll play together, and then he just like won't be playing, and I'm like, it's already 5 minutes past your time. Can you get in the booth? Hi, Mike.
Yeah. I never bought records from him before.
Like when was it? Trouble Man?
Yeah.
Those were the days. Those were other days. But he's had a bunch of.
So what was? I mean, so Jersey in the '90s. So this is supposed to be out. We haven't really talked about music that much.
Oh yeah, we're just talking about my Jersey background.
Yeah. What? So did you have like a? I mean, you said you briefly mentioned that you had your mom bought you a cassette player when you were like 7, and you started recording and stuff off the radio and saying, announcing the songs or whatever.
Yeah, I still have those tapes. I gotta rip them.
Yeah. I can help you with that. I have
a bag of the tapes, and
ooh, that's
and I used to record.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. If you have a whole bag,
it's not that.
Do you have a tape player?
Yeah, I just haven't been able.
I've
been abroad, so I
set
haven't.
It up.
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
Just do 7-year-old
do one a day when you wake up in the morning and you're scrolling through Instagram. I just gotta go through
them because like I don't know if I actually still have one from 7 when I was 7.
But
I just have them from my like adolescent years.
But you could just record it rather than listen to see it. You could just record it and listen to it at the same time, and then.
I actually I posted on Twitter to ask if anyone had like one of those recorders so I could do it. But
you just need a tape player and a sound card.
Yeah, I have a sound card that's in Europe. So yeah.
I might have an extra. I'll look into getting you. I'll try.
Yeah. So
we got a free. I got a free sponsorship. I got a Focusrite sound card. Maybe they'll they have like an artist relations thing. Maybe they'll.
You guys are listening.
Hook you up. No. We'll see. I'll put you in touch.
But
yeah. So you recorded these tapes. And what were you listening to? Like oldies or something?
Oldies. Whatever they. So it was soul. It was like 98.7 Kiss FM, Hot 97. Back then. So this is like
90s New York.
90s New York, 92, 93, 94, and then in my like pre-adolescent years. Now this is aging me. I was recording like all of my songs that I wanted to hear instead of waiting for them on the radio. One time I actually won tickets to see Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
And I recorded it because it's like you call in Hot 97 and it's pre-recorded. So I actually won tickets to see Mary J. Blige at the Apollo, and I was like 13 years old.
And you're recording yourself.
It was amazing because it's Ralph McDaniels, who is like a legend in hip hop. He still has like Video Music Box.
Yeah.
He recently followed me on Twitter, and I was like, ah! Like this is amazing. Like I've been watching him since I was 7 after school. So when MTV wouldn't air hip hop.
So he's still clued in.
Yeah, man, he's on the internet. I talked about him. I was watching the Wu-Tang documentary, and I tweeted about it, and he followed me back, and I was like, he needs to be in a museum. It's just he's been there since he's a year, I think, before me. So before I was born. So he's been on Channel 25, NYC TV now, which is super sponsored and whatever. And then he had what was it, pop-up video? Remember pop-up video in the 90s? Yeah. So they did like a version of that of Video Music Box, but he still had Video Music Box error, and he still has it. He's still doing it 35 years later. It is
if you stick with what works,
Yeah, but he's like, he's been there. Like, there's so many things coming out now, like documentaries about hip hop, Wu-Tang, all these things, and then Ralph McDaniels will be mentioned, and then Video Music Box, and I'm like, whoa. So basically, he was on air. He was also an anchor, not anchor. What do you call him? Radio.
A DJ.
A DJ. Sorry, anchor. I'm like trying to edge my way out of music. I'm like, anchor. So he was
an announcer.
He was, yeah. He would play music too.
Radio personality.
He wasn't really DJing. He was just like announcing.
You don't think he was picking the tracks?
He was, yeah, but he wasn't like Funk Master Flex.
Yeah, but still, that's a DJ.
Yes, that is a DJ. Yes, that is a radio disc jockey. Yeah. That is back then he was like slinging the records.
Tastemaker, it's one of the most important parts of.
This is before Tastemaker. This is like Ralph McDaniels, So I call and I actually get in. I actually like win, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm talking to Ralph McDaniels. I'm like, wow, this is crazy, and I'm like, and then I win tickets to see like Mary J. Blige like play at the Apollo. And I'm 12 or 13 years old, and my mom's like, you need a chaperone, and I never went. I never went to get tickets, and then I recently tweeted about how I really wanted to see Mary J. Blige, and then somebody tagged me, like, her tickets are on sale with Nas, and I'm like, do I want to go to the Barclays Center?
Probably. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, tickets are cheap, but they're like all the way up
it's
there.
but it's crazy. It's crazy to
I'm
pay
like-
$100 to go
I'm
see a
like-
show.
I'm sure I know somebody that works for like Barclays Center or something that can like get me backstage and I can meet Mary J.
who
Blige and
knows?
piss my pants. But like really, I grew up on that. So
Yeah,
you know, like so I was recording stuff off the radio. So you know, I know a lot. I know when a lot of hip hop and R&B came out just from literally
The radio was pretty great that time.
back then. Yeah, and then we had KTU with all the like
Latin freestyle
and some actually good house.
yeah.
You know, and
Like Break for Love and like that kind of stuff. Like
also other great things that were being played at like
some Strictly Rhythm stuff.
late night they would play actually really good like techno.
Yeah, they have like live DJ mixes, which is rare these days on the.
Yeah no really
They
late
expe-
nights like what's his name, I forget his name, but he has a whole mix cloud of all his a lot of his old shows on Hot 97 at midnight. He would just do a lot of like mixed
But
know,
it was hip hop.
hip hop. Yeah,
Hip hop on Hot 97. But so, I
Yeah.
mean, even now, still WBLS has a. I mean, on they had, does they have Funkmaster Flex? I listen to it every like. I mean, they have the Quiet Storm, but on the weekends they have like Doc Martin now, which is kind of weird, and they have like
Yeah.
live mix shows like Saturday night.
that's what they've always
But
done.
yeah, I know, but that's like the only one
it would
left.
be your thing to like go to the
Yeah,
club, go
yeah.
to the tunnel, and like go. Yeah, this is your pre-game for the tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into it. I love that. That's my.
I mean, that's our thing. Like, that's why I'm like, DJ culture actually made sense in some way. I didn't ask to be a DJ. Basically, a friend was like,
Yeah, it's like something in New York. Just like I didn't. Not to make this about me, but when I
"Well,
came
you
here,
can't make it about you.
I
We're
d-
both here.
I came when I first moved here. I moved here in '99. You know, I had like
20 years.
yeah, 20 years I've been here, and I came here and it's like I didn't like disco, you know, like I did, but you know, I like you know,
You didn't know.
I didn't know, and then like something happens when you move to New York City, you know, and it's like a disco town, and like disco is rap, disco is soul, disco is you know R&B, disco's house music.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Something happens here. It's like I mean I don't know if it's just the high energy thing, but I mean I can't imagine like growing up with that all through the 90s and like you're like 13, 14, 15 just like listening to the radio and it's like
Imagine
people
younger
are
than
playing
that.
good stuff like
I was like
yeah,
8.
yeah.
You know, I just
and
feel
you're
like
hearing like Timmy Ridgeford mixes and like
it's nuts, and you don't realize a lot of the things until you're older, and you're like, whoa, you know, like this is my formative.
It's,
Everything
like,
just
normal.
makes sense, you
Yeah.
know. Just me being a music nerd, just makes sense from like turning on the radio when I first moved back, and I remember the first thing I heard, like, I turned on the radio was "Let's Talk About Sex,"
Oh.
baby, and I was like, and then I was just like
Salt and
hooked.
pepper.
Yeah, and my mom just was like, I'm so grateful that my mom never censored me with music, you
Yeah.
know? Like, she just was like, she likes music. I wanted to be a dancer when, In Living Color
But
was
I
on.
like, yeah, the Fly Girls.
I wanted to be a fly girl. You know, you probably know this story. So,
No, I don't, but I really liked it in Living
yeah,
Color.
so I was like 5
My
or something.
dad used to watch
6.
that. That's
Really?
that
So
was-
my mom and I would watch it, and we would, you know, it was funny because they would do the reenactments of like all the popular songs and whatever, you know. It's like before Mad TV, you know, it was like the black SNL. So it was,
but Jim Carrey was on there too, right?
yeah.
So that's weird.
Yeah, but of course they had to. I guess he
How
somehow.
did he get on there? Because he was Canadian.
Yeah, that's probably why. Sorry, I'm gonna say that. That's probably why.
How did
I don't
That
know.
was weird. Always weird to me.
I never really. Yeah, I think. But
'Cause
there
it
was
was like
another
it was
white.
like the Wayans brothers
There
and
was another white lady on there.
who was that?
Or am I confusing her with Mad TV?
I don't know. I didn't watch Mad TV.
This is aging us.
They
Or
probably
me.
yeah. This like one of those
I don't
things like
care.
where you know we got too used to having the internet to like look stuff up and you can't remember
You
anymore.
can't remember, but you gotta like right now we're like we're not gonna do it.
But so you watching the Fly Girls and the Fly
And
Girls was like you know whenever
I have so much energy. I would just dance like
but
with
they
them,
between every commercial break they would have the Fly Girls dance you in and out and then like during the credits.
and I would dance. And my mom was like, "Wow!" And I'm like, "Mom, I want to be a choreographer. Can I have dance?" No, I don't want you to be a choreographer.
And that's the same time period as like MTV The Grind, sort of.
Yeah.
Was that going on?
I don't remember. I mean, I had cable. I didn't have cable then. I had cable when we moved to North Bergen.
Yeah.
But
So
like,
this
I
is
always-
this is
I
on.
grew up
It
with
was on
cable.
Fox, right?
Yeah. It was on
which
Fox.
is also like The Simpsons was on.
Fox was cool in the 90s,
Yeah.
man. They had all the black TV shows like Martin. Martin was on
Martin,
Fox.
what happened? Martin like had a stroke and he got all weird, right, or something, right? What
I don't
happened to
know.
him?
I think he had like
Too much cocaine.
some mental something. But he seems to be doing good. I look at some, you know, these people you look on Instagram, they're like, okay,
Because
look.
he was like the most
People
popular
will
person
say
on TV
people
for a
will
while.
say the Illuminati came and blah blah blah. That's the answer for other people. Like the Illuminati tried to get him, and he just I don't know.
Yeah, was it Oprah Winfrey tried to murder him or something?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. I never heard anything about him. All I know about him.
He had like a mental breakdown kind of thing, and on the highway or something. I don't know. This is another thing we got to look up on the
Yeah, we'll
internet
have to
because
look
you
it
don't
up.
want to be on the air looking.
Making stuff up.
Yeah, exactly. And then Martin would be on in my tweets like, "What?" Like, hey.
He wouldn't mind. I don't think
He's funny.
We like him. You know.
Martin, come on. If anyone makes a fifth floor, like brother man from the flip floor, come on. Like that's like
I still see he's got a record that I see in the thing. It's like a weird like.
what brother man?
No, it's like
Martin?
a Martin LP. It's a double LP. It's white and it has like purple writing. Like
What
a
you have?
sticker.
No one's bought that.
I see it at the thing quite often.
Oh,
and I always like put it in the bin, and nobody ever buys it. But because I don't know, I always put like weird records like
you should save that. Save that for me, please. I'll come and get it.
Martin. All right.
Because that's
I'll just
such a
bring it home with me.
that's just like one of those things. It's like a cultural thing. I think at this point.
Yeah,
For me,
that's
like,
why
at
I
least.
think people would buy it, but they never do. Or they
They're just like-
buy like a Barbara Streisand or.
I love Babs. Thanks, Mom. She raised me on Babs.
Ari was dogging her. He said her voice was thin. She's a little too show tune for me. I'm not.
You guys should watch this documentary. I saw a documentary on the plane.
It
and-
makes you cry because you cry
No,
on the plane.
she's from Bushwick, guys. She's like a she's like a literally like rags to riches, like amazing story, and she's like a woman that decided to do things on her own terms in a time where it was like not normal, and she's kind of had an amazing life, and I've always just liked. I remember when I moved to America, she was on the cover of like Life magazine or something. Time.
Yeah, she was
Life?
huge. I don't know. What does
It
she
was
do? What does she do now?
90, yeah, it was 1990. I don't know. She got really. Oh, she tried to sue Google because there's it's called the Streisand effect. It's a whole thing. She tried to sue Google because her house is on Google Maps and she didn't want people to like find out. But she like lives remotely in like Hawaii or some
and
crap.
That made it worse.
But no. But so basically, when I moved to America, I was like, she was on the cover,
Put this up.
and then I was like, who's this lady? I was like 5, so I was like, or 6. I was like, who is this lady that looks like a lion? Like she just looked like a lion to me. She just like has these features. Like I just like Babs, but I love her music. I love Babs.
But she was in that. The thing that I remember is the movie with Chris Christopherson. What is it? Stony. I can't remember the name of the movie now, but
there's a romantic comedy with her and the dude that I love from the 90s. It's very like mid.
Who's that?
The dude. What's his name?
Oh,
You know.
that's not Chris Christopherson.
I know. Sorry, I just was like, I can't. You don't remember, but I don't remember the name of the song of the movie either. Ugh.
From the 90s.
Yeah, this is what happens.
It's like
when you
one
grow
of her last movies or something.
Yeah, she did it with the guy from
I can't remember what.
the dude.
Yeah, from from the dude.
The dude. You know that movie that everybody
Yeah.
loves.
Yeah. I don't really like it that much.
Me either.
I don't. It's not. It's like whatever. I'd rather watch Raising Arizona.
I mean, it's not. I don't like it. I appreciate its significance, but I don't see why everybody's like, "Oh my god," freaking out all the time. It is funny.
I'm not.
The first time I watched it, I had to watch it 3 times to be like, "Oh."
No, I still don't get it. All right, so
Okay, back to music.
Jersey, New York City radio in the 90s was cool.
Yeah.
And do you remember? So that was a big thing. Were there like, and were you going to see concerts or going to any record store? Did you have friends that were like connecting you with any kind of thing, or were you like on your own in your
I was
room?
always on my own looking for music, but like that wasn't a time of like record like digging or anything for me
But
because I
like
was still
your
too young.
Friends at school, was it like a
No.
thing? No,
They
you just
weren't into music. Like when I was young, everyone was listening to like Disney, and then my teachers were telling my mom like, "You're letting her listen to that rap music with the cursing and all this stuff," and I was like 8, and my mom was like, "Whatever."
you're like it's on the radio.
Yeah, basically it's on TV. Like I have cable. Like I mean, it's like it's not a bad thing because I knew better. I don't know. It's just like my mom. So one of my first CDs. Well, my first CD was Escape, like Off the Hook, for Christmas,
Nice.
'93, and then
It aged quite well though. You can still listen to that.
I still have that CD.
Yeah.
My mom's coworker. This is the time. So people don't realize like I'm gonna go off the beaten path, but like Red Bull Music just like ended or whatever. Red Bull Music Academy, but before that. There was Sparks, and then before that there was Marlboro. Marlboro used to sponsor tours, and like so it's funny because I play with Aux 88, and then they were talking about their Marlboro tour in '98, and I was like, oh right, Marlboro used to like sponsor all the things. Like they were like,
you get like a free pack of cigarettes if you gave them your phone number or something.
yeah, they were doing that into the 2000s.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But like in the '90s, like so my mom's coworker, she smoked a lot. I'm not kidding. Like this woman like was a chain smoker, and she would save all the carton like little things.
Oh, like Camel Cash or whatever.
Marble Cash. Okay. And she literally, maybe this was a lie, but like she got me a Discman for Christmas with her little cartons from the catalog, and then she asked my mom to ask me what CD I wanted, and I wanted Escapes Off the Hook, and then '94 Christmas I wanted Illmatic from Nas, and my uncle got me that for Christmas. Thanks mom and thanks uncle. But like it's crazy because she smoked that many cigarettes. I remember my mom being like, talking about it, but like
Discman's like top of the list, Like,
yeah, I got that for my birthday, like when I was
50,000
8. I was 8 years old. That was what I got for Christmas. It was crazy, and so I got that for Christmas from my. We used to call her my white grandmother, like my mom's coworker, but like she's cool. She still like follows me on Facebook and like whatever. But like,
what's her name?
Linda. Hey, Linda.
Hello, Linda.
She's still in Jersey. But yeah, so she got me that from like Marble. But like people were like freaking about, Red Bull Music Academy, and I was like, before Red Bull there was Absolute used to sponsor everything. Remember that in the early 2000s? Yeah. Then Sparks.
No, one of the guys today, I have a repair shop, as you know, and a guy came in to get a repair, and he's been working at Red Bull for 21 years in the music department, and he just had his last day like yesterday or something. It's been
like that long?
Yeah, that's what he said.
They didn't launch everything until
I don't know. That's
way later.
I don't know if he said he worked there. I don't know. He said it's been around that long, and he's he lost his job. So and I mean I don't know him very well, but he was like telling me like that it was a separate company. It wasn't even Red Bull. It was like this other company that wanted to have like a arts thing, and they somehow got Red Bull to finance it.
Yeah.
And so it's like everybody's like dogging this thing, which created good content and had good taste.
It really did bring a lot of things to surface. I was never lucky enough to be a part of it, which is a shame, because I really wanted to do something highlighting Haitian music. But there we go. I don't know. I heard that they were trying to get new sponsorship, but I guess it didn't, or like it didn't work out.
I think it was just it was like a separate company. It like wasn't really part, because like how Red Bull does like the sports. I asked them these questions today. They had like the sports thing, but that's part of Red Bull. So the thing that they said, and there was like a company email they sent out, and it said that they were no longer comfortable with someone else curating their content.
Yeah, because if somebody buys that, they're gonna want to do all these things. They're gonna be like, "This is my millions of dollars."
Yeah,
it
made sense to me. I mean, I think it's crazy that it lasted as long as it did.
Yeah,
like the Music Academy and the lectures, and like for a lot of people met a lot of people that way.
That's true.
To attack it, I think is not is a misdirected.
Well, I think when people were attacking like people that really expected it to last forever, like someone made a joke about, did you think you were gonna have a Red Bull retirement package? But I didn't realize it was this person had worked, like they had a music department that long, or But it's so funny because 3 years ago when I lived in Barcelona, I went to a RBMA thing at Montjuic Castle, which is an old castle, and they like rented out the castle, which must have cost so much money. Crazy buffet. I met a lot of Lucretia Dalt. She was a Red Bull Music Academy alumni, and she was trying to get me to. She and the guy from Komeme, they were like, you should apply, and I was like, why? I didn't have any ambition, but they were like, you should do it. I'm like, okay. But Lucretia at the time was also a great thing that was about that, is that she was they asked her to be a teacher for the next year of students. Yeah. So she was teaching in Montreal or Canada somewhere. Yeah. So it was cool. So like she was like, I can't believe like I was a student and now I'm a teacher, and it was a cool thing. So I don't have any issue with it.
I would say pick your battles. Like it's something that. It's gross. Things. Like, I'm not going to drink a Red Bull. That's disgusting.
Yeah, no. But at least the RBMA things, how many RBMA things have you been to that have been amazing? They're, like, amazingly curated. Yeah. And, I mean, if you go to anything that's, like, invite only, you're going to eat, like, and drink for free, like, amazing food. Like, in Spain, I was like, what is this? I just was eating all these amazing sliders, drinking all this wine. And it was just great. And you're in, like, a medieval castle.
Yeah, so it's too bad. I think it's too bad that they...
I mean, it's just like everything, nothing lasts forever, you know?
Yeah.
So
Enjoy it while it lasts.
exactly. That's why Will and I were talking earlier. You got to do things now. You know, you got to just be able to just do things. And that's another thing about me being happy to be home is that people are more apt to do things.
You can't really sit around here.
No.
You get passed right by.
Exactly.
So 90s. So you grew up in Jersey, and then you had college in Jersey too?
Mm-hmm.
And where'd you go to school?
In JCU.
In JCU, New Jersey.
New Jersey City University. In Jersey City.
How was it?
I got into that and then St. Peter's, and I didn't want to go to college. I just was like,
That's what you do after school. You don't.
And then I was like, I don't want to do this. And then I told my mom I'm gonna leave college. She was like, well, you're Sybil Jason. You're gonna do whatever you want to do.
What did you go to school for? Just because you were supposed to?
Yeah, I just was in school.
Whatever.
And then I was like going out and DJing and partying.
And so you finished high school in what?
I went in 99.
99. You graduated.
No, wait, sorry, 2003. I started high school in 99.
So you graduated high school in 2003.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go to college for a little while and not for you.
Years, yeah. And then I was.
And then your mom's like, then you just
my mom was disappointed, but she was like, I get it, and she was like, but she literally said, "You're Sybil Jason. You're gonna do whatever you want to do." Verbatim, that's what she said.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you. Like it's like I think when you have children, you realize like, you have an independent child on your hands, and she was like, you're an adult. You can do whatever you want.
In high school, were you going to Manhattan and
yes.
Brooklyn and going to
I wasn't
stuff?
going like
you're underage. It's hard to. You could kind of get in, but
I wasn't going
strict,
to what we would think. Like I was going to like the Bronx. Like that was scary.
Like block parties and stuff.
No, because it was scary there. I wouldn't get out of the car. I'd be like, I would tell my best friend, "Are you sure the door's locked? I'm not trying to get robbed. This is the hood. This is like the Bronx. Like, I mean, it's still the hood, but like this is the Bronx in 2001 or something.
It's not that bad. Was it? Maybe at night. I don't know.
Yeah, at night, when you're a teenager, come on.
I guess
sneaking
so, yeah.
out of the house.
Yeah.
No, you're making me tell all my secrets.
I had
my teenage secrets.
I had one. I don't. Should I tell this story?
Yes, because my mom's gonna see this and be like, oh, and then she's never gonna let me live it down.
I don't know if my parents. Well, I'll tell the story anyway. When I first moved here in '99, like I said, I got a job like first day I moved here at Chelsea Piers.
New York.
And
land, you get a job.
And I started working, and I was like, okay, I want to get some weed. And like dudes I work with, like one guy, he lived in the Bronx. Did he live in the Bronx or Harlem? I can't remember. It was like
I mean, there's different parts of the Bronx as well, you know.
And he took me like I just wanted to get a bag of weed, like because I was like 21-year-old skateboarder. That's what you do. And so I went with him up there, and I'm totally green. Like I have no, like and I'm still saying like dude because I had been in California for 2 or 3 years before that. And so they take me up there,
and the slang is just insane.
And they're just like never really hung out with like a white dude before. They're like, "What's up with this white dude?" And he's his name is Charlie, and where is he from? Is he Colombian? I think he's Colombian. I could be wrong. I'm probably getting the story wrong. But we went and we just bought some weed like on the corner, and then they told me we were breaking into an apartment building. But I think it was just like their friend's building, and we went in the basement and like smoked weed. But they were like kept fucking with me and like telling me that we were breaking in. So I like was afraid we were gonna get arrested like the whole time.
They were fucking with you because you're white.
Yeah, and they like totally and I was like so paranoid. And then I was like I gotta go, like after I had my like little nickel bag of like dirt weed, and and I was like what what is this? And I like got on the train like by myself and like and rode back to Williamsburg,
Wow.
But
Williamsburg in '99 from like what train was that? The 4?
I don't know. I have no idea. I was like, I worked at Chelsea Piers, and we like went uptown, and then I did this after work, and then rode back down.
This is a different New York too, guys. This is like Giuliani. Like Giuliani was still in office.
Yeah, but it was still there were cops. There were.
It was the hood.
Yeah.
You were in the hood.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Williamsburg was kind of the hood then.
That's my one story. That's all. And then
I
never went back. They freaked me out.
That's why I love Cardi B, because she reminds me of me and my friends. Like, speaking of Jersey, where I grew up is literally across the river from Harlem and, like, lower Bronx. So it's like we all, like, the way she talks is like how I used to talk when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Like, just, well, not, I mean, a little bit more.
But it's weird how that culture, like, it doesn't change.
It doesn't change.
It's
and
so
that's why,
weird,
like, people in the south side of Williamsburg, it's the same. It's like, I grew up in a predominantly
it's
Latin
like
American neighborhood, and we all talk the same.
Yeah.
And now I'm just, I've reverted back to my 16-year-old self sometimes. and people are like, "Where does this come from?" I'm like, "This is
It's
who I
high
am.
school. It's school. It's
This
like
is
New
who
York
I am.
public school, and
This is like a New York thing. Like I
Yeah.
think I just was in Europe for so long that like my Jersey or New York, whatever, just comes out. Like, you know, like I'll just say things funny, or I'm just being obnoxious sometimes, or I don't know, it just happens.
so
I'm in New York, so I just feel comfortable.
so you start going out to this stuff in college, and then let's
Yeah, so I start going to like, I start meeting people off of like Live Journal, Makeout Club, and you know, just MySpace and
like
just
early internet
early internet,
chat rooms
Friendster,
and
yeah, and like you know, just like
Yahoo groups.
before that, I was like hanging out in the city. You know, I'd
Yeah.
go out. Like I made a friend from, we talked last night. We made friends. So basically, she's like my first New York City friend, and we met through the Interpol. Remember that band?
Yeah.
Forums in 2003. And then
so how did you get into the Interpol? College?
I don't know. Yeah, I just started listening to indie rock.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of that shit.
Yeah.
Like I love Interpol. The first album, Turn on the Bright Lights. You know, I love that album. It's just like very nostalgic for me. I listen to it and I'm like, oh, New York. I walk around. I wanted to go to NYU. I wanted to but I was like, how am I gonna pay for that?
Crazy.
It was so expensive then. Imagine that. Like in 2003, it was like $50,000 a year.
A year.
Just to like not be like on campus.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
And so, you know, I was just like so happy that I was old enough to go into the city. Like I would leave school, take the PATH train in, and then because the PATH train is not near me where I grew up, but it's near Jersey City. So I would just go in, walk around, and then so I made this friend. Hi, Lita. You know, she's
Lita, like Lita.
Yeah, like Lita Ford, but Alita.
Alita, okay.
She's Guyanese, and we became friends. And she's always so when I started DJing, she doesn't drink or anything, and she's currently with child, but she'd still come out to like random all these years until she left New York in like 2010 or 11. She'd still come out to like whatever warehouse party or whatever.
That's cool.
And she'd still come out, drink water, you know, whatever non-alcoholic beverage they had. She'd come with her boyfriend and they'd come out from wherever, like Ozone Park to like House of Yes or whatever, and just be supportive or come to Weird or whatever, and like come to my birthdays, you know, like she's someone that was my first friend in New York. And then, you know, we met finally in person at a Yeah show. Yeah as in Liars show.
Okay, yeah.
It's very New York, very early.
I mean, the first time I remember meeting you or seeing you around was, I could be getting the dates mixed up. Is that you were covering for Veronica's minimal wave record show? So
that was earlier this decade. No, but we saw each other around before that.
Like
last decade.
Were you friends with Katie Rose then, too?
Yeah, we were friends since 2006. We met in 2006. We didn't become friends until 2007, and we both modeled the Samantha Pleat show January 2007. And then that's when we would sit at opposite ends of Clem's bar, and then we finally were like, hey, and then we were friends. And then
But what is Clem's was the one that is like next to where Lux was?
No,
on Havemeyer and Grand. Havemeyer and
Grand. I don't remember what the hell's Lux.
Lux was where Electro Clash. I guess it was before you.
Yeah, it was probably before me.
It was next door to Clem's.
I remember that name though.
Yeah, that's where like Berliniumsburg and Larry T and all that stuff.
Well, I remember Larry T. But I never. So I wouldn't go to Brooklyn. So basically, I would come to Brooklyn in 2003-04.
Yeah, that's right when it was over.
After Lower East Side, I would come to Royal Oak and Union Pool because our friends were working there.
Yeah.
So everything was going on the Lower East Side.
This was the first shift to where people would just go to Williamsburg, Brooklyn only. It was the first.
But there was nothing in Williamsburg really, except for Clem's. Well, Clem's opened at
Galapagos.
Galapagos was there for a long time.
And North 6th.
North 6th.
Black and Red.
Black and Red. Wow.
Wow. Volume.
I don't know Volume.
Volume was kind of where
see
on Banker by the lot, by where I think maybe where Soundhouse is now.
What is Soundhouse?
Soundhouse is right up the street on Banker.
Studio B?
Yeah. No, not Studio B. It was further up.
Because Studio B was something else.
Yeah, Studio B was...
It is something else now.
Yeah. No,
it's
like someone's loft or something.
Some rich person's place. Okay.
But so how did you get from the Hot 97 Kiss FM to Interpol?
You graduate high school and then you just change. I don't know. It's you just go through changes in life. You're
You're just from the internet, probably.
No, I just I went through a change, and then I just found I just started listening to music through the internet, and I've met people through forums.
But you weren't listening to like a New Order or stuff like that when you were in the 90s, were you? Or
I would. I mean, I
you
didn't
listened to
like.
whatever was on the
I
radio?
didn't like seek it out, but I would hear it, and I
Yeah.
never put two and two together until
Okay.
I like knew what Joy Division was and learned post punk from the beginning.
Yeah.
But I went from before that, and I went to like, you know, I'm a big anarcho punk person, so I went to Crass and all that stuff, and then like Throbbing Gristle and all these things, and then like Public Image Limited, and so I had my I like went back.
Yeah.
But like, so basically,
the internet.
mm,
Was it like at a store? How do you find out all this stuff? Like at the record store or
record store, you ask people and then you figure it out.
which
and then
record store were you going to? Like other music, Bigger Bob's.
Other music a lot.
Other music was a big one. No listening station.
It's so sad when Other Music closed.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm really looking forward to seeing the movie
Wait, there's a movie?
or documentary. They made like a documentary about it. It just came. I think it just premiered like last month or something. 2 months ago, maybe.
I was also ordering a lot of things on eBay and selling a lot on eBay. I was like flipping things on eBay. I was one of those people. I could have been Nasty Gal, like that woman that like. So basically, I would thrift a lot in Jersey before Jersey became a nightmare in terms of thrifting, and I would flip like $2 shoes for $2.50.
Yeah.
But like I would just like there were people that would bid on these shoes.
Yeah.
I remember my friend being like, "Damn!" Like I mean that was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine in college you're like broke, and I couldn't
Yeah.
like I was pissed to leave my.
But you could just spot the names and the styles people wanted.
It wasn't even that. It was just shoes in the 80s were made better, and they were dead stock. So I got a lot
Yeah.
of dead stock and unworn clothes,
Yeah.
and that were just like shoes that you would pay $600 for now because of the way they're made.
Yeah.
And I would pay $2 because this church thrift shop near my house like had like hordes. I don't know if a shoe store closed out, and I just bought them, and then I just flipped them
It
and
could have
made.
just been one person, like someone.
No, it was a shoe store.
oh, they're
they,
different
they,
sizes.
They knew because it was a church,
Oh,
and they
okay,
were old
okay.
ladies, and I just had a lot of good things I still owned. I like, you know, my mom and I just were thrifty ladies, and we get great things. But now it's like my mom still finds deals. I'm like, how? I don't even.
Nah, they're
can't.
still
I just
out
I'm on the internet. I just get my everything
Yeah.
discounted all the time.
Yeah.
So saves that world. But so basically what happened was a friend of mine was like, you have good taste in music, and he was like, burn 2 CDs, let's throw a party at the Hole every other week. And then it was like, he didn't really show me how to DJ. He was like, this is it, just slide. And then I figured out the rest.
So I mean, the Hole was it was on First Avenue.
It was
Kind of like
it
across
was-
from Lit.
yeah, but then
down a
it
little
was
bit.
like Mars Bar and then right there. So it was like a skater bar.
Yeah.
So like Epically Later has a bunch of pictures of that time.
I remember. I mean, the thing I remember there is going there and seeing Kim Ann Foxman and Andy Butler DJ there, and being like,
They DJed the Hole. I had no idea because I would just only go
yeah,
there.
no, they would play, and I was like, who are these people like playing this stuff that I like too?
It was a play like
Because it was hard to you would find people sometimes like that would find what you like, but they were like, oh, that's cool. These are cool people, and then there's like all these freaks. In
yeah.
the
So
crowd.
that was for anyone listening that wasn't of this age or this period around in New York in this period.
Like post Electroclash, before the disco edits.
Yeah, basically. Electroclash was still kind of being played. It wasn't like when it blew up,
Yeah.
but it was still very much in vogue in New York City.
Yeah.
So, like, I would play at the Hole, post-punk, Crass.
Who were you playing with?
My friend Frankie.
Frankie, who's that?
I don't
He
think anyone knows
disappeared?
him. He's around, but he worked at pianos for a while, so I would do pianos happy hours, and then that's what started Farst, because I wanted to do one DJ set and post it, and then so like he basically was a person that recognized that like you would be a good DJ.
So you were still living in Jersey at this time, or?
I would go back and forth between New York, like
I-
subletting and living.
So you would stay in friends' apartments for a while when they'd go out of town, or
No,
sublet?
just people would have like cheap rooms.
Oh, you just
like
sublet.
cheap $300 rooms.
Yeah.
It's like
So you had a lot of roommates.
yeah, but it was just like you're out all the time, and
Yeah.
it would be short periods, and
You
then
just
I finally
go home and go to sleep and take a shower and leave.
yeah, or just like I would just stay out because I never did drugs, so
Yeah.
I always had this crazy energy
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
didn't leave, when I didn't live in the city. So when I was still like 18, I would just hang out until like the sun rose or whatever, and then we go back to Brooklyn, and then like everybody was doing
because
drugs back then.
I always think of you as a Greenpoint person, kind of.
Yeah, because I used to
You
live in Greenpoint.
You stayed here this was a long period.
So we're talking about 15 years ago, guys. So this is like really interesting to be like, wow, 15 years, wow. This is 15 years ago.
It's not that long ago, is it?
It feels like it because so much has changed and the decade's over.
Does it? It seems the same to me.
It right now it does because I'm having a lot of like 2004 moments where I'm like, what year is it? I'm running into this person I haven't
still
seen.
Around.
I'm running into people I haven't seen in like 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. It's like weird. We're like, hey. Yeah. But like, yeah, so you know me from Greenpoint because I was Greenpoint. Like, I didn't leave Greenpoint.
Yeah.
I lived
you
like...
Go to the pet store.
Yeah, which I still go to. And then I'm like, hey, at the thing, hey, guys. And the pet store guy's like, what? You're back in town? I feel like ducks behind the counter, like, falling over. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice to come home to my old neighborhood and feel like loved,
a few things are still here. You know?
Yeah, I'm like, you're still here. I go to the Rite Aid and I see my old pharmacist. They're like, wow. I'm like, yeah, you're still here.
Yeah, there's some of us. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of new tall buildings, so I don't know.
I mean, Manhattan Ave has changed a lot. But, yeah, so you know me as Greenpoint, and I also used to live in Williamsburg, too.
Yeah. And when did you... But you were living here. You always went back home and visited your mom, whether you liked it or not.
Yeah, I was always going home. When I lived in Greenpoint, there were times where I'd go home and leave the cats, my 2 cats, alone. My roommate would feed them, whatever. And then I'd come back and they'd somehow get all the way on the top of my closet and like get the catnip and then like it'd be a party in my house. 12 hours. I'd leave for 12 hours. So I was always going home because it's right there. It would literally from door to door. Sometimes it would take me 40 minutes on the E to the G to the if I took the 11 o'clock bus. It would take me 20 minutes to the Port Authority, 20 minutes on the bus. Yeah. Like home.
Yeah, if there's no traffic, I mean, it's really like 12 miles away or something.
Yeah, but it's crazy, like, to take the train and the bus for 40 minutes from Greenpoint Ave. Yeah. Like, so it was great. And then my mom and I would do this cute thing where we'd both call each other and be like, look at the Empire State Building today. So she'd be looking at it from the other side. Yeah, from the other side of the river, and I'd be looking from the East River. And then back then, before they built the piers, I'd just go watch the sunset every day when it wasn't freezing.
Yeah.
My Greenpoint.
No, the park's pretty nice.
It's nice, but it's so full of people now. Like, there was no one out there. That was the nice thing. Is like I had my solace of like watching the sunset and like my little time of like.
Well, we used to have that when I first moved here. I lived on North 3rd between Kent and Wythe, and where that park is now on whatever North 7th, 6th. There used to be this empty lot with a bunch of tires and stuff, and there was a big slab. And some guys there was like a renegade like skate park there, and I used to just like go there every day and like skateboard. I really missed that. No, I think it probably was there until 2002 or 3 or something like that.
Did you and Veronica talk about that area too? Because she's still around there.
No, she lived further up the other way. We talked about her apartment. She had a couple. She said she lived on Grand Street when she first moved here, and then she lived on West. She said, and I had no idea.
Yeah,
I mean, she told me she had some. You should. I'll send you the link. It's a pretty. You would. I learned some stuff. She had like She was like into graffiti. She had like a graffiti. I'm like, Veronica.
Yeah, I know. I'm like.
Her parents ever found out? Oof.
I never tagged anywhere publicly, but my first tag name was Hype.
But I can't imagine like. Why would you like write on somebody's stuff? I never understood graffiti. I was like, you'd be so bummed if somebody like spray painted on your house.
Because you grew up in New York City.
Yeah, I guess it's different. It's like public property.
It's just a different thing. It's like really, you could be from any kind of background, and if you are a kid, like
on
watch
the trains,
kids,
it's
man.
cool, I guess.
Watch kids, and you just feel like when I watched kids for the first time, I was like, I was young, but I was like, that's a New York that I want to be in. Like, I always knew I wanted to be in New York. Like, when we go to, from the airport, I'd be, like, sticking my face to the window. Like, I don't want to go back to Jersey. Like, I'd be like, I want to live here one day. The first chance I got, I left. Yeah. So, I tried to leave New York, and now I'm back. And it's like, I feel like when you're born here, and she's just never going to let you go.
So let's go. So you have a music career now. Let's get into,
Oh, do I? I don't know what that is.
You said, so you're DJing around at the Hole and...
The Hole and
with these 2 burned CDs.
Well, not 2. It eventually became more, and then it eventually became vinyl over time. But that was my intro. That was just like a fluke thing that I never expected. I was just like, okay, let's just we get some money, we get to drink for free and party. Like it was just like I was 18. It was a different New York, and everybody was like skaters, models, all kinds of people. Yeah,
it was a weird. I mean, I tried to say that too before. Is that
and Max Fisher's around, but
there was this weird mix where it would be like there'd be like rapper dudes and like skaters, some graffiti skater kids and and then like some just like whoever drug dealers, and then like
H-word
some
hipsters.
some like model kids, and then some like
It was just a different time in New York.
artists. Yeah, it was
And
a good mix.
it was like post Giuliani, and it was like you could still smoke in clubs. So it was like still, had this like element of old, decrepit New York. You know what I mean? Or before they started cracking down in the bars. At that time, I drank I drank a lot, but like I was 18, 19, 20 years old. Happy Ending was a big thing, like that's when like the photographers started coming, like, like what's his name?
But that was
The scene, whatever guy.
Lady Gaga used to always hang out at Happy Ending. Do you remember that?
I don't remember her.
Before Lady Gaga.
No, she was not part of my scene, sorry. I came before Lady Gaga, but she blew up, so that's...
No,
she wasn't around. I'm telling you, like, I must have made my exit or stopped going out around that time.
I think you just wouldn't. I think you wouldn't notice her.
No, I remember a lot of faces.
Yeah.
I would run into people and we'll be like, oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Because I had friends that worked there, and they would, you could like.
But in 2004, because that's when I was going to Happy Ending a lot. I stopped in 2005.
Oh, maybe it was a little after that. But she was.
She blew up in 2007, and then she started going on like 6.
No, but she was. I mean, she would go there before she was popular.
Yeah.
And then people were like, "That girl used to come here all the time."
I know, but I think I missed that because that's when I stopped going out.
Oh,
for a while. I would just do happy hour at pianos in like 2006.
Yeah.
And times like that.
Piano, that weird upstairs bar.
I would just do downstairs in the happy hour. It was cool. I'd just get my money.
Is that
do
place
my
still
thing.
there?
I think.
And what was that other place that was right down the street from there? There was
Orchard Bar.
No, there was another one that had a record store in it too.
I don't remember. If somebody said the name, I remember.
And it had a record store upstairs that maybe a coffee shop, and then had a basement.
Oh, cake shop.
Yeah, cake shop.
I did the first ever show there. I DJ'd the first ever show there. My friend recently posted about it, and I was like, "Wow, I didn't realize it was the first."
Is it still there?
Yeah, no.
I have no idea. I haven't even been to Manhattan in I don't know how long.
I'm always in Manhattan, but like, my friend posted about that. I guess I have no idea, but that was the first show and first ever event there, and she asked me to DJ, so I DJ'd it. But that was 2005.
So you just started picking up gigs, and then
people would just ask me to DJ all the time.
But then how did you get the? I mean, because I gonna keep going back to the thing that I remember you first really from it. Besides seeing you around, is that you would play on East Village Radio.
So Jacob and I met Jacob Gorchov at Enid's R.I.P., which is closed.
But Jacob now is running
Palto Flats.
Palto Flats is label.
So Jacob was playing at Enid's, and Enid's was like here in Greenpoint, North Williamsburg neighborhood hang. We just hang out. Like all my friends were in Greenpoint. We just go hang out, whatever. And it was like maybe a Friday night or a Thursday night, and then I heard somebody playing Neue Welle, like German New Wave, and I'm like, who the hell's playing this in Enid's? Enid's a skater bar where they play like hip hop, and you go to hear the good, hip hop bangers at the end of the night after you do whatever you do, whatever. And then, just be like on your way home. Like all of us lived in Greenpoint, so we'd meet up at Enid's.
Veggie dog and some jalapeno chips.
I don't think they had veggie dogs then.
Oh,
they stopped. You're thinking about Daddy's.
Oh, Daddy's. I'm sorry, Enid's. Enid's
on the corner of Manhattan.
Yeah.
It's across from
it just
Matchless.
closed. Yeah, it did just close.
It did just close. I went the week before it closed because I was in Paris. So
okay, sorry, excuse me.
So I was like, who's this guy? So I go up to...
the DJ booth is above the
bar.
Yeah.
So I was like, who's this guy? And then I go up there. I'm like, hey. I'm like, you're playing German New Wave. You're playing like EMAC or something. I don't even remember what it was. Something so like... And then it was just... Or maybe something more obscure than that. And then we just like started talking. That's how we became friends. And he was like, hey, you should do East Village Radio. And then that's how I got the intro. And then he was like, you should meet Veronica. We did the first show. And then Veronica just asked me to do, like,
to fill in
all the time.
Yeah.
And then it just became, but then that's also a time where I was playing out a lot.
Yeah.
I was playing out a lot. And then Katie and I had our monthly night.
And you've mentioned Katie several times. This is Katie Rose Sarducci.
Oh my God, you can't tell her.
O'Sullivan, sorry. She's
Sardelli. It's Sardelli.
Sardelli, sorry. It's not Sarducci? Sardelli.
No, I have her full name in my phone.
Oh, okay, good.
Her full, complete name.
I like Sarducci better.
Oh my God, Katie. So Katie and I met. Yeah.
She's part of Further Reductions, and she has her... Does she have a solo thing?
Yeah.
What's it called?
I'm blanking right now because alcohol. Sorry, Katie, don't kill me because I love this song and I want it to be, when I do my TV show, I want it to be the theme song of my TV show.
Katie Rose has, she keeps changing her name. I can't follow up. I think it should just be Sarducci. Sardelli. Did you meet her parents?
At the wedding. Were you at the wedding?
Yeah, but one time we picked her up at her house.
In Detroit?
In Detroit.
She's going to Detroit on my birthday, and I'm bummed. I'm like,
You'll be okay.
that would be my best friend. I don't have a lot of close
But
friends
she,
left
but
in
so
New York.
so Katie Rose at that time she was.
She's Rosie Cross. Duh. She's just
Rosie.
Rosie Cross. I'm sorry, because that's her.
And she has the other project with Lily called
PPG Girls.
PPG Wave. No, I don't know.
PPG.
I can't keep up
It's
with all this stuff.
PPG.
But at the time, I remember Katie Rose. She was more like a hippie. She was like living in some kind of weird place with a professional gambler and like some weird.
It was just
weird
like a crazy squat.
And she would play like ABBA and like a Donovan and stuff like that. But I've always known her as like a music encyclopedia.
Well, that's why like we decided to DJ together,
Yeah,
because we realized
she knows every single song, like every.
That's why we were like, we have a lot in common.
How did you meet her?
Clems.
At Clem. Oh, that's right. You told me that.
And then she would always look grumpy, and then I was like, I had my end of the bar, and she was on the other end at the back, and I was in the beginning, like with my best friend, my late best friend.
Why it always takes girls a little while to become friends?
I don't know. It was just like New York at a different time. It was like weird. I don't know. I never had this issue like, just some people like I would just be like whatever. I'm still like that.
Yeah.
At this point in my life, I'm like I don't need like until But like Katie and I both modeled Samantha Pleat's like show, and then it was January 2007, and then we were like, oh, and then we became closer, and then we realized like we had a lot in common, of, like just music nerdery. Like
I think she's a big radio person too. I think she had her Detroit.
So she tried to get me to go to Weird a bunch, and then I had a day job at the time, and I was like, nope, I cannot go to.
Because it's on a Wednesday.
Yeah, and I had like I was working 8 a.m. to like 8 p.m.
Was it still at Southside Lounge, or was it already?
No, it was already in the city. Okay. So the Southside Lounge was like right when I was hanging out in Manhattan instead of like going to Weird. But like
I don't think it lasted there very long. It was pretty.
No, it was short-lived. It was the place on.
Who knows?
So that place was on Metropolitan for anyone that.
Was it? No, yeah. Broadway.
Was it on Broadway? Are you sure? I thought it was like right.
No, it was on Broadway, like by where Diner is or whatever. What's that place called?
The place I was pointing at earlier.
No. It's like down there, like past Peter Luger, down the hill a little bit.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Pretty sure. I've been there a bunch.
Wait, what's the name of the place?
Southside Lounge. It's not there anymore.
There was something on Metropolitan that was like.
Lux.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so near like Havermeyer.
Yeah, that was next to Clem's. I don't know what it is now. I can't remember.
That wasn't next to Clem's.
Clem's is on the corner.
Next to Clem's was the punk bar.
Yeah, but it used to be Lux.
Okay, that makes sense. I remember that.
Yeah. So Weird was a big deal for a lot of us.
Yeah. So it was a central point, and then it kind of like being in New York, and then
Weird spelled with the I and E swapped.
Yeah. So it was just like I went off in like mid-20s trying to do my thing, early mid-20s trying to like have a day job and pay my bills and pay my rent and just like
what
DJing.
What kind of day job?
I've had a lot of them. They're all administrative, sales, administrative. Eventually, bookkeeping was the thing, and then also working in art handling, and just a lot. At that time, it was like I was working in women's and children's wear, so I was working like in sales, but like.
So you tried to do like the grown-up thing and like.
I had a salary with. Like I had insane time off. It was a Jewish company. I had Jewish holidays off, and I had overtime, which was so amazing because I would have quit like in like a week because I was already working like 12-hour days.
Yeah.
So I would get paid my salary, like hourly rate, and then I'd have my like overtime. So it was like nice. I remember being like 23 and being like, I paid my rent. I'm gonna buy an iPod and a point and shoot. I still have money. It was crazy. I was just like, what? But I had no time to do anything. I had no life.
Do you think you could ever do that again?
No.
Yeah.
Unless it's my own company.
Yeah.
I can't like do that again. I gotta be my own boss.
So you tried that for a while and.
Yeah, and then I just had no life, and then the economy tanked.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, kids. There's a lot of kids that didn't have to live through the 2008 recession. So.
At least you weren't in college, Jordan. I had some friends.
I would have if I had stayed in college. I would have just graduated.
Yeah, I had some friends that, because at this whole time I was working at NYU teaching swimming, so I got to watch all these kids
freak out,
get crazy college loans. And then they graduated, and then that happened.
I have a lot of friends that graduate NYU that are still paying those loans off, and like I don't plan to ever. I don't like they have anxiety every day.
Yeah.
And they just have resorted to like being like I'm not ever gonna pay that unless I'm rich, and they're not in careers that are gonna make them rich. So. Yeah,
they're working at like a non-profit or something.
Yeah, one's a performative artist, but she's a teacher too. So. Performance artist, not performative.
So everybody out there listening, you get a apprenticeship, become a plumber. Lay tile, do one of these things.
Become a bookkeeper.
Maybe a pet store is a good idea. A wine shop. These are coffee shop.
Work in a medical field. Be an X-ray technician.
Yeah, the medical field is not going anywhere. People are gonna.
People will die and get sick all the time.
Learn about diabetes, overweight.
There's so many things. Everybody's talking about their health problems, so you should just get in.
My prediction for the future is if you want to make a lot of money, is to get. There's gonna be a lot of hearing problems because people use those earbuds all the time.
Yeah.
And also tattoo removal.
Also, what I always said, I was like, man. This was a time where I was like, it's not too late to go back to college and go to med school and become a plastic surgeon just to reconstruct people that got their earlobes stretched.
That's not. They don't do it anymore, do they? Not as much.
Yes, they are.
It's not as popular though.
People are still doing it.
Yeah, but it's not like for a little while there was like every dude on a bike had that.
Yeah, but there's still people young that are doing that, and they don't think about like how ugly that's gonna look in years and like. I don't know. I know there's people that are actually getting that surgery done. They're going to plastic surgeons, and I have a lot of friends that are getting a lot of tattoos removed too. And I'm like, I have 2 tattoos, and I got them all like late 20s. I don't think I had one after 30. Wait,
no tattoo for me.
I had one after 30, but that was a memorial thing.
Yeah.
We keep getting off the path. Sorry.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. You probably had a long day.
I'm tired. It's freaking hot. It's really hot in New York. Like it's just
so let's get into
music.
It's supposed to be boom boom boom. So we did all the formative stuff, and then now you started establishing yourself from 2006 to maybe until you had a period
but
where
I didn't have a plan. Like I didn't plan it. This is the difference
you were just coasting.
I was just doing my thing, just like how you just figure out life. You do something and you love it, and then it ends up.
You went to Europe.
Yeah, I just got sick of New York and I left to Europe. You were there when I decided to stay in Berlin. You thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
You were there. You were like, you're crazy.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember.
It was my first week in Berlin.
I think you look pretty scared.
Scared?
I remember a little worried, I guess, or.
I felt like I was really happy.
I think it's good to do scary things though.
I was a bit scared. Maybe I looked unsure. Maybe because you're older than me and you could see. You were like, you're crazy, and I was just like, I like it, and then I was just like, never mind. But I'm really glad that I got to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
spent 4 years.
Yeah, you probably learned a lot in those 4 years.
I did, and I feel like I would have had a existential crisis in New York because I spent so much time in New York. New York was going through a different change. And then I come back and I feel like an alien, and I'm like, what's going on? But at the same time, I have a lot of people that are happy, and every time I play out, someone new discovers me, and they're like freaking out, like, who's this girl? What is going on?
Yeah, but New York will not. Doesn't care. Nobody cares. Like if you leave, you're forgotten within like 7 days.
Not me. Like the people that remember me.
No, I know, but it's.
I mean, the thing is that I have my roots here, which is a good thing. Like I feel very lucky that I can come back, and I feel grateful that when I left, people were like, New York will always be here, and I was like looking at them like, you're insane. New York is changing, and then it's like, whenever I now that people know that I'm back.
Yeah, if you know how it works, I guess you can always get right back.
I have a huge this is the thing. I have a huge network of people from 15 years, 16 years in New York. Like all kinds of people, all kinds of backgrounds. So I got to tap into that, and I'm just like, I can't just concentrate on music, whatever, that's changing forever. But I mean, New York is changing forever, but like what we knew as a community in New York has changed a lot.
Yeah.
Like we talk about this all the time off camera, and it's weird, but I'm glad that people are still like, whoa, but they want to be like, you're an OG, and I'm like, that's right, I'm an OG, honey. Like I was like here, like holding it down, not complaining about shit, just doing it because that's what you do.
Well, it's the thing that I see that is like a real, we were saying, when you had these gigs at the Hole and you're playing for a bar percentage. You don't have a guarantee.
Yeah, but you're not thinking about it like has that. You're just like, I'm DJing, like you're young. You're like,
going,
whatever.
You're like, I'm going to get some free beers. Maybe you get 3 drink tickets. And $40.
Well, I could drink all I want because we knew the bartender.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean. Yeah, you're just saying.
But I'm just saying, Now it's like if somebody gets a gig, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna need $300 and a bottle of vodka and.
Well, you need to be established. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, you
but
can't just
but
be
no,
like.
now everybody they just start and they think that that's like a
Yeah.
standard thing,
And that's the difference. Is like.
I don't know if it's sustainable for the clubs and for the community.
I think this is the difference. Is that like there are people that when you start doing music, or doing anything in music, or anything that you love, well, but specifically music right now, and especially this music that we're in, we didn't start playing records and playing music and DJing or whatever because it was cool, or because it was like there was no money in it. We did it because we liked it. We did it because we wanted to hang out with our friends. We did it because we were quote good at it, or we liked music.
We wanted free drinks.
It wasn't even alcohol. I didn't care about the alcohol. Like, I knew all the bartenders. It wasn't even about that. Like, I knew all the places I booked. You know what I mean? It was like, for me and Katie, when we did Pleasure Discipline, it was like everyone came out for Pleasure Discipline. Everyone came out. Like, from all of our music, all of our friends, or all of our peers from different groups, all came out. Back then, it was Bunker, and then it was Weird. And then it would be like, you guys would have parties. And it would be like little random parties, but there were the two mainstays were Bunker and Weird at that time.
Yeah.
And then there was like weird little things that would pop up, you know, like Witch House or whatever, 2011. That was the big thing, and then it died. Thankfully, you know, like, you know, it's just.
Did it? No.
I mean, it did change into a lot of things. Like we talked about that on the other on another podcast, but like it's actually like lived on through the internet when this like aesthetic. Or whatever.
But I mean, so talking about the change between then and now. I mean, I don't know. Is that just a perspective thing? Is that you're older now and you want things a different way, or is it really different?
I mean, so the thing that I realized I don't like and I'm against is this whole social media posturing, which is why I like edited that one meme of like take away social media, boom, you're no longer. It was like model or whatever, photographer. And I put DJ because there's so many people that just like literally study like this dance culture from afar, which is no longer on the ground, and they are like, I'm a DJ. Just learned last night, and then they like are all over the place, and then that's just the model of all of the industry right now, and it's like doesn't leave room for people that have actually sacrificed their whole lives, either knowingly or unknowingly, and then towards the end everything just works out in this way where you're like recognized enough where people are like, this person knows a lot about music. This person has a certain, like, you know, skill set in the sense of, like, they know how to move a crowd and do something. You know what I mean? Like, we're all just...
they know when to drop Baby Got Back, you know?
They know how to make not everyone flee the room. They know how to work a room, but also just... You know, I think a good DJ can play anywhere and can play in any situation. That's why a lot of our friends are wedding DJs now, because they just were like got out of like.
Well, that's where the money is.
That too, but you know, as well, like you want to keep DJing, but like I don't have a problem with doing a corporate gig. I'm not gonna like cry about it on the internet because you got to pay your bills. We don't get paid as artists in America, you know. Like, and also like I think those are fun sometimes. Like it depends, like what it is. It's not. You're not signing your name in blood. You get a lot of money, you DJ, and you leave.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing.
And those are the most fun parties. You play with whatever the hell you want.
But I mean, I would also complain about that there is some kind of change, you know, in the way things are happening now. And I stepped back, and it seems like you have gone full throttle in. You like dove in head first.
Me? No,
not
really.
No, it seems now like you're participating more than ever.
I am right now. I am participating in social media, but I'm not doing it in the way that other people are doing it. But I've also I do it in my own way, which I feel like people resonate with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it doesn't just seem like it's vapid and just doesn't have anything in it. It's just like, oh, look, let me the selfie of me. You know, like I'm posting funny, stupid shit, and then I'm like, hey, do this thing, come to this thing, and I'm just like.
I mean, it's all so new that I'm not quite sure what's gonna become of it. Like, how will it be remembered well, or what? I don't know.
What, social media?
Yeah, but the weird thing is too is that
there's a lot of people that won't exist if you take away social media. They don't have anything to fall on. Like, people will remember them, but like besides their social media, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, there's.
But when it comes down to a booking a DJ, it doesn't really matter, and I don't know if it ever has. It's your draw. It's like how many people can you get to go to a party? Yep. Like, and some people it's because they're social, they're nice to everybody in person, and I guess some.
And that's what we came from.
Yeah, and some people are good at the internet, you know, and then some people are good at music and they can transcend that, and some people have all three.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just weird to me. Like today, another, you know, I had another interaction. I hope this, I'm not being too, I'm not going to give any names, so it's fine. But the kid got a repair today, and we have like an Instagram for our shop, and he was like, "Thank you for tagging me in the picture. It's an honor." Like, to me, that was a really weird thing to say.
You know, that's
like
the thing.
that it's like the fact that like younger people, like
It's a generational
their
thing.
existence is in the
Is
internet.
the internet,
So
yeah.
so by us saying, you know, like us older people saying like it's changed, like are we just being like the get off my lawn and we're not changing with the times?
No, it's just
Or-
like it's trying to, for me. So for the record, I'm gonna be 34 next week, or this year I'm 34. Will is in his 40s.
42.
So, you know, I was always a baby in this kind of scene of music or scene of anything. Most of my friends
Yeah.
and anything that my friends are in their 40s, or late 30s. And I am the ones that I've had for the past 15, 16 years. And so now I have friends of all ages, you know what I mean? But like I have my close friends I have 2 close friends that are under 30. They're both 28 years old.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Like everybody else is older. So like we're talking about just coming from what Will said earlier about like kind of like people come out because you're nice to them, or you just have a draw. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
like Katie and I were just fun. We had fun. We played music. We played like music you knew. We played weird
Yeah, you
music.
played
We
good
played
stuff.
like we just brought all of our records. Our party was the precursor to all of this like all genre thing that's like the thing now. Like it's not like I'm trying to sound like a grumpy old lady. I'm just like we did that and we just did it as a break from like these 2 parties that were 2 completely opposite, techno and like what you call wave now. And we would just be like, let's play all of our records and have a party, and everybody would come out, and it was a way for us to do something, and we did it every month, and it was fun, and a lot of people would come out.
But
and now it's like it's like the internet. You got to get the internet involved, which is not something like I used to get the internet involved. Like I used to post on MySpace about like the Hole or whatever, or
Mhm.
whatever else I would
Yeah.
DJ. Subtonic, Tonic. I don't even know. I was like telling Will, I was like, I had to think about all the places I've DJ'd in New York City that don't exist. I don't remember the names, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I forgot about Tonic and Subtonic. You know, it's like wow.
which is where Bunker started.
I know.
and they
I
had,
went
like,
to Bunker parties.
Free jazz.
But there was nobody there.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no one at Bunker back then. Sorry, Bunker, but that was the truth. That was 2000. That was a different time. You know, people were just off. People just wanted to like. It was hard to throw parties back then. So you'd just be like, I'm DJing here, and then people would stop in and then go drink at whatever.
Wherever the free drinks were.
Yeah, all the vodka, Absolute sponsored. What was it called? MyOpenBar.com. You know, remember that? That's a period of time that people don't understand. So now you go to a party, there's a $45 cover charge. People are paying that. If you said that back in the day, people would laugh at you and throw their fucking drinks at you.
Do people really pay
I did the other day.
$45?
I didn't pay 45, but I paid
20.
because more than that. But I was like, you know, so many people have put me on guest lists without me asking lately that I've been like, let me just pay for this for once. And it was at Sugar Hill.
Yeah, that's okay.
So I was like, this is a long.
When it's going to the, you know, when it's time to play.
Yeah, I was like, you know
Okay.
what? This is keeping an establishment that's been around forever in a black neighborhood, a black, you know, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? It was like
Yeah.
that, and I was like, it's going to the promoters, and a bunch of my friends are playing. It's fine, but I was also like, wow, I can't believe I did that. I'm still like kicking myself. But, you know, at the same time, I'm at a point of my life where I can't.
But what? So, yeah.
So that's the thing, is like people try to book me. I mean, nobody comes to me nowadays. Like two years ago, people were trying to approach me to book me for no money, and I was like, are you insane? Because
Yeah.
you're going to charge $50 at the door, and you're going to
But what?
pay me no money.
But what I'm trying to understand is so there. What should someone listening to this that you know that you're saying is a younger person and doing things wrongly, or what you say is wrong? What should they do
I'm not saying it's
to
wrong.
make it better?
I think it's just change
How-
things. It's isolating. Like social media, if you do social media a different way, that makes people feel left out, and it's kind of toxic, you know. Sometimes, like that's why I was basically not on social media the
Nope.
whole time I was in Europe.
I mean, we had the thing. I don't know. We sort of talked about it at dinner time. Is that if you're like stepping on people to like elevate yourself,
yeah,
that's kind of weird.
it's shitty, and
Yeah.
it's not cool anymore. Call out culture's over.
Yeah.
You know, if you call out somebody for being annoying personally to you, that's different. I did that recently, whatever, or just like stupid thing. But like,
going out looking for
yeah, just like just causing a scene just to be, that's your reputation. That's not fun. That's not cool. Nobody wants to look at that, and it's like draining. Like, I find myself going on the internet and being like, I have things to do. I have a real life. Like, I have like, I'm in my 30s. You know, I have like things to do. You know, like, life is short, guys.
It's
like,
supposed to be fun.
life is short. Don't spend your time looking at your phone, at Twitter or whatever. Walk outside, get some fresh air. You could fall tomorrow. You could like die. Like, literally. I know that sounds so morbid.
As we're talking on YouTube.
Yeah, like, literally. You could literally die tomorrow, or something could happen to you. Like, you know, we don't want anything bad, but like, you could be in a situation where you're like, I wish I had not done all these things. And it's like, try to be more present. Try to, like, you know, not be on your phone when you're hanging out with your friends, like, unless you're tweeting something stupid together, or like taking an Instagram selfie or whatever. You know what I mean? Post it and get off of it.
How do you know? I mean, it's hard to know the difference. Like, when you know, there's nobody telling you, like, we're all using our phones. Like, there's nobody telling you, like, this is a healthy amount of time.
I think it's rude if you're like, look, you and I both were at dinner. We didn't look at our phones once.
Yeah, but
we ate.
I never do.
You know, if I was there,
if I'm with somebody that I'm with every day all the time, and I'm at work, at our work, when we go on lunches from work, we look at our phone sometimes.
That's different, but it's like, if you're having a conversation, you're hanging out with somebody and they're on the phone, it's
dinner,
like rude.
At dinner, no.
It's
Lunch maybe.
It's 2020, basically. Like, we're like, people are gonna be watching this video in the 2020s, and they're gonna be like, "What?" Like, so basically, I could give advice, but I think it's all gonna change. I think this whole social media thing is gonna collapse.
Well, I just don't want to. I don't want to just be there like preaching, you know, like.
I think it's cool to use social media, but don't use it. Don't think that you're gonna get everything just by posting and tagging everybody that you think is for clout or quote or whatever. I hate this word clout, but just for relevance, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like, it's all fake at the end of the day. Like, everything. Like, it's just. Like, it needs to be more about music again. It needs to be about community. It needs to be about empathy, and it needs to be like less toxic. Because like, sometimes you look at the internet, you're like, you feel left out because you're like, why did this person do that? Why is this person doing this? Why wasn't I invited? And you're just like, do I care? You're like, you really have to. It's just the FOMO word, FOMO, fear of missing out, came from the internet. Like, this whole social media age. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I don't know what because the hard thing too is that I also feel like we're gonna exist more and more and more and more as a human race in the internet.
Yeah.
And
but we should limit our time, and we should find a purpose for it. You know what I mean? Not just for like, I think the age of like doing it for like likes and all this stupid posts is over. You know what I mean? It's like, you can, but it's like, what do you get out of that? Like, the world is shit right now, literally. There's so many crazy things happening.
But it's also the best time it's ever been.
That
like,
too.
there's like less wars than ever, and people are healthier, and
yeah, but at the same time,
but we're seeing the bad stuff. Like,
that's why we should get off the internet.
The moment.
Like,
yeah,
live your life,
that's the
and
thing. You
see what's happening, and then try to like enjoy what you have and be grateful. Gratitude.
Because like we have this terrible president, and if you read about it every day, it like makes you sick and makes you angry, and you're talking to your friends about it, and it's making them sick and angry. But if you step back from it and you realize, like, it's probably always been like this, no matter who the president is. They always did terrible things, some worse than others, But it's, I don't know, like, is it worse? Like, I don't know. Has it always been this bad? You know what I mean? Like, what we had Reagan and Nixon and.
I mean, but you were a child.
We don't know because we were kids, and we also didn't have this
Cold War.
But we also didn't have this like immediate view
of everything all the time, every second of the day.
Is that what's a?
That's the thing. And it's like, so for the first time when he won, I was like, this must be what the Cold War felt like. You know what I meant? I was like, wow, all these Cold War synth records I've been listening to forever, like, wow, I get the fear. Like, I obviously like kind of understood, but like to actually live through, like, this person might just kill us all in 1 second, kind of thing.
Mean, you listen to the Bush or Reagan years, the punk, and the lyrics are all about, this guy lied to us about this war, and he's doing shady stuff in this other country, and it's been going on for a while now, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like
what knowing about this does, other, it's good to know about it, I guess. I don't know how we change it. I mean, vote. Everybody should go out and vote or whatever. But
Yeah, we should.
does that matter?
If you can. I mean, if you can't.
They make it so difficult.
I don't think they make it that difficult. Well, some people. For some people, some places. We're very lucky. We're in a very liberal place.
I walk by. I live 1 block from where I vote, and I walked by and the voting place was open. I didn't know there was an election. It was like some local election. Like, how are you supposed to even know? And these are the things that, like, you want to vote for.
You gotta watch your mail.
Yeah. No. But you get so much crap. You just throw it all away.
I mean, some people are more. A lot of my friends, I have to say, in New York and just in general, everywhere they're living, are very much more in touch with their local elections now, because they realize that's how things get to be where they are now. Like in the with our. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about music.
Sorry. It's gonna swing back the other way.
Let's hope.
Hopefully.
Well,
so
yeah.
So you're now you came back. You were in Europe, doing stuff, DJing. Not so much, but it seems like now, this past year or so, you've been taking it a lot more seriously, traveling around, playing, several times a month in different countries.
I mean, it just kind of happens.
Well,
Every time I'm like, bye, it just kind of happens.
You didn't have a plan for it or anything?
No, I didn't. And I mean, I have a visa, and that's one of the things that's driving me.
So you were living in Barcelona for about 5 years, sort of?
No, 3.
3.
2, and then I came back in 2017, and then all of a sudden I had a bunch of gigs. Like, I had an agent, and it was just like so basically when I moved to Europe, everybody's like, why aren't you DJing out? You need to be a DJ. When I was on Berlin Community Radio, and I was just like, I don't want to be in part of this world. Like, I don't want, like, everyone I know that's part of this is always complaining, and it's was also very different back then to me from New York. Like, it was very much machismo, and like I felt out of place. I didn't feel in place, but but people still wanted me to be like DJing, and I was like, no. And then after much protesting, and then like living in Spain did me no favors, but that, I lived there for love. That was a different story. So, but I'd still like do my thing here and there, and then all of a sudden everything shifted, and then people started paying attention. And I guess, when you do something for long enough and people realize that you love music and you're devoted to it, and which my thing is, if you are going to do something, and first of all, like, I never figured out what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I kind of have an idea now of what I want to do, and it's like I'm late with a lot of the things, and music is always going to be the center of it, but like there's other things I want to do with my life. But sometimes, there's people that force, what I'm saying is like some people force things to happen, like, and that's fine, they happen, but then they end. The faster you do things, the quicker they'll end. And for me, it's been a long road, and I'm happy that people think I'm killing it and all this stuff, and like, you're going out, like, and people are proud. Like, I have friends that are not musicians or anything, and they're just stoked, and they're like, wow, you played Panorama Bar, exciting. I'm like, yeah, well, like, whatever. And so, but at the end of the day, it's about music. I don't care about any of that. I just I have an energy when I play. I know that. I could be dead, I could be tired, I could be sick. I get in the booth, and I DJ, and it's a whole different person. You're like, who is this? What's going on? And people are dancing, and that's something that I've always had, and I'm grateful for it, and people always noticed it, and I would always be like, I don't know, I'm just playing music, like, and now I'm like, yeah, damn right, I'm fucking playing music, damn right, I'm making people move, that's right, like, I'm gonna push it down, oh, people are moving, I'm gonna push it even further, and it's just like, it takes sometimes it takes, like, age, and just, like, really recognizing yourself, and being comfortable with yourself to actually, like, recognize who you are, what you can bring, and being like your own person. Because it took me a long time to figure that out, It took me a long time to be like, I'm Sybil, this is farce, this is my thing, like, I've always done it my way, and like, I'm gonna, like, playing Haitian music, like, in my sets. People, like, I did that at Atunel, and the room shifted. The room changed. Yeah. The whole room. I've seen that happen in New York, but to do it in Berlin at a festival that I respect, it was nuts. And then people were just like, whoa. But
it's so weird. That's such a weird festival. It's like so serious.
It's so serious, but it's like I got to play on Sunday, and they like it's like, do whatever you want. We booked you to do whatever the fuck you want, and that's what you get booked to do. There's no like, there's times where you know how to read a room, like what a party is, but like most people 95% of people that book you want you to do what you want to do, and they trust you, and
that's a good thing to remember.
And so that's something that I want. Like, there's a lot of people that I feel like are just doing what's trendy and cool.
But I don't remember you playing Haitian music until recently. Was that like a decision? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, I was able to kind of like, I got into a point where after just doing, I really have to say, like, BCR, Berlin Community Radio, did change my life in a lot of ways. I mean, also East Village Radio and Veronica and everything, and like Lane and other shows. Because radio is such a big part of my life. Obviously, it's in my blood, but it's also like since I was a kid, I wanted to be on radio. You know, I just think it's so cool, and I still think it's fucking cool.
I really like it too.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. Like, I think when you like music and you get to play music and you get to do whatever you want, like, it's cool. It's a cool thing, and I think you know, it shouldn't feel, you know, like a thing where people are like, oh, all these people, like, recently someone was like, all these people have their rinse residencies, and I'm like, I'm not on that shit. I have rinse France. I'm a different thing. Like, my whole thing was different. It was just randomly like, you're a resident. Okay. Like, I just wanted to be on rinse France, and that happened. And and then all of a sudden I'm a resident, and I'm really happy because I remember when I started BCR, I was like, one day I want to be on rinse France, and I didn't ever plan to move to France. You know, it was like one day, and then I was in Paris, and I was like, I want to make this happen. Can you make this happen? And it happened. Yeah. So, like, what I'm saying is, like, be yourself. And sometimes it takes a hard time. Don't just jump on trends. There's a lot of people just jumping on trends right now. Because we come from, you know, me and you, Will, and a lot of people we know, we just play everything. We play whatever we like. Like, literally one time, Will was playing at his old party, a CeCe Peniston record, and I was, like, freaking out. I, like, came from outside.
Not finally, but Keep On Walking.
Which I literally played all the time, 24/7 in 1992, and drove my mom nuts when I was 7 years old.
I love that song.
And she's so like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, you're just acting like you don't remember because you're like being supportive, or you really tuned it out. But like, I love that song too. And Will literally handed me the record, guys. And that's like, that is what music's about. That is what a music community is about. And it's about like letting yourself go and just, you know, feeling like you're part of something, like, you know, like a community, you know?
Yes.
DIY, something. I don't know. Now I sound old because I'm like, DIY. There's no more of that. I mean, there are people doing things on their own and still trying to make something happen in places we don't know.
You can't. I'm sure you don't get too old.
I'm not old. I'm not getting too old.
Don't get too on the young people. I think that
there's young people doing amazing things. But what I'm saying is that there's some people that are trying to take shortcuts because they see this is how we're supposed to. They think they have to do things a certain way because promoters and everything. And this is just like,
well, there's a game. So
they're playing the game.
I mean, that's the thing that
the game.
I was pretty disappointed with it. You know, you have all this.
I didn't want to say that word.
You have all these goals you want to accomplish.
I didn't jump into the game. Don't try to tell me.
No, I know, but I'm not gonna tell you anything.
No, he said I jumped right in. I'm like, I didn't actually. I've been like.
You did. You went in.
I had to. I was in it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to describe it but
I was like, it was like I was in it, and it was like, okay.
But there's a thing, you know, and you have like
you're in water, and you just gotta keep going.
You're 12 years old, and you're like, I want to be a DJ. I want to travel the world, and I want to have a record label, and I want to have a radio show. And then you do that, and you see how it really works, and it's a little disappointing.
Yep.
So I mean, it's I don't know what the remedy for that is, and you know, it's cool to like talk to other people and see what their viewpoint is. You know what I mean? And just to like get all like.
You just gotta.
It's not like it used to be, you know. Yeah, but it's. I don't think it. To say it's not as good as it used to be is like, do you just sound like an old man? You know, like it's like.
Yeah, you sound like an old lady. I don't care. I'm
old lady, whatever. Old, yeah,
but
that's all
I mean, it is.
I want to know how to make it not that way. You know, like I want to make it better.
But the thing is, there are younger people that feel this way, and they don't even know. They're like, why does this feel? I mean, there are exciting things all the time happening. There's exciting communities that we don't know about. Yeah. But the things that we see in our face all the time are the things that are like, people are like, ooh, I don't want to be, what is this? Like, can we change this? And then they just do it on them. They just are like, fuck this. And that's the remedy is, do it on yourself. Do it on your own, do it yourself. Yeah. Like DIY forever. Like DIY till I die kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people have done that, and it's good. And, but then, on the other end, with the internet, is like people can just speed through that and just like have other people that have been at it for a long time and sacrificed a lot. I'm not talking about myself here.
Yeah.
Feeling like left out and feeling like what the hell, because they're just being bypassed by these people that just came out of nowhere that don't know anything about music, and they do have energy, but and a certain thing, but it's not like the same as watching a.
I almost feel like that's a trend. Like it was like there was like this the trend. I don't. Maybe it's a year or two old now. Is the trend that like I don't have any experience.
Yeah.
Trend. Like I just started. This is my second gig, but I have an agent, and I'm playing festivals.
That's what happens. The festivals are like.
No, but they're also. Yeah.
They have programs. They have programs for new DJs, and yeah.
But there's, I mean, so
there are programs. All these big festivals, a lot of them, they have programs for new DJs, and that's why a lot of them are playing them. But also, festivals notoriously don't pay a lot of money. So, and it's cool, and I'm not knocking it. But at the same time, people go and they're like, "Why aren't these other people playing these festivals?"
who would you? I mean, I guess this isn't probably not a.
Yeah, I'm not gonna call anybody.
I know. I was gonna say, who would you like to see play?
Who
like who is not playing that you want to see play?
I don't like festivals. First of all,
I
I like playing them.
I don't want to use a porta potty.
Yeah, we're not festival.
Where are you
people.
gonna park? How are you gonna get there?
I'm from like I'm a coastal elite, I guess, as you say.
I want to go to like Good Room, like 3 blocks from my house, and
I want to go to like this is the thing is like Europeans are into festivals because they grew up with that and they're like into it. It's a whole like they can devote the 3 days or whatever. For me, that sounds like a nightmare to like be in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of people and like. You know what I mean? And then it's just because I'm such a city person or something. I don't know. It's
so you would like to see more like a club residency, one DJ play or
I miss
one
that.
live act.
I miss that shit. I miss that.
Yeah.
I want to have a one night where I play 7 hours. Come on, people. What are you doing? Like,
well,
I mean, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to retire and do other things in my life, and people will be like, hey, we want you to DJ again. And it's going to be one night only, twice a year. Come see me DJ. Like, it's going to be like that.
What about, the thing that I liked about New York City is they had these, like, one example that comes out is the motherfucker party, pardon my language, it was, they had resident DJs, but you didn't realize, you went to the motherfucker party. You weren't going to see.
I forgot about motherfucker.
Justine or Michael T or like Mike Simonetti would play too.
I forgot about that.
You would go because that was the party, or you would go to Spa on Wednesdays, and I think that's. I guess there's a couple things that what's it called? There's a couple parties now that are just about the party and they have DJs, and I think that was a cool thing. You know, like you would go and but whatever they would have like some special thing like. I don't know, food or like a cocktail booth or not cocktail, like a photo booth. Sorry, I can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
But some kind of reason why you would go to the thing other than to see X DJ and this other DJ.
No, that's the thing. Is like I ran into somebody I hadn't seen in a long time. We used to party together, and they don't go out anymore. And they were like, we used to go out because it was like a good party, not because
the DJ was playing.
Yeah, the DJ wasn't the focal point.
Like there would be like a host, and they would.
Like I'm happy when people come to see me play. You know,
yeah.
I'm excited. I'm like, okay, that's great. But like, I think it's like on my rider it says no lights on me. I don't want people staring at me.
Yeah, that's.
I want you to fucking dance.
Yeah.
I'm not there. I'm not on a stage. I've DJed on a stage before, but you know what I mean. It's like I'm fine with lights behind me, but I don't want lights on me. And the lights come on, and people are like, woo, 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 and it's like, cool, thanks, yay, hooray, I'm gonna go to sleep now,
like
you know.
I always get so stoked when there's like you're like in the DJ booth that has like the little window and like nobody can see you.
Yeah. No, those don't exist anymore. I'm like, what?
Like you go to some weird countries and they have them.
I want that.
Yeah.
I want every DJ like thing to be like that because that's how it should be.
It's not
you
like
you look up and you see a little window. You see a person.
If you go to the new place that Public Records has kind of a booth. I mean, it's kind of like Love, or like a Cielo, or not. It's not like Cielo, but the interior looks like Cielo, but then the booth is like Love. It has like the little windows and it's like this huge room. So you're kind of like, it's more
you're
like
tucked away and no one's like looking at you while you're DJing and
so
bothering you.
So like the focus is the dance floor, not the DJ.
Because the worst thing in my opinion is when someone's standing there like this, and then that's when I'm just going in and I'm making everybody dance. I'm just like, all right, you wanted me to start off. I had to start off, but I mean, I just don't really. I just go in and out. It's like 40 minutes. And
you mentioned I had one of those. It was kind of the similar gesture. I think I was playing at atonal, and then and someone, I don't know what, I think I played like a disco record or something. It's like experimental music, and they looked at me and they crossed their arms and they turned around to like not look at me or whatever.
Like, I am in disapproval
Yeah,
of
like,
this.
I was like, oh God,
Yeah.
just go home. Like, I'd rather you go home.
Yeah, just go to the other side. Don't make it awkward. Like, it's just so disrespectful. I don't know. It's become so weird. I don't remember. I never, like, you didn't go out to see the DJ. I mean, if you knew a DJ was playing, you'd
You
be
went
like,
out because
okay,
they had free sparks.
that too, or free drinks. But also, you're like, oh, that person happens to be DJ, or it's this party. I know it's gonna be good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Now it's just all this like superstar thing, and it's like, I don't want to be that. I've been like if I wanted that, I would have had it. You know what I mean? At this point, if I wanted any of that shit, I would have had it. I would have figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
But that's not what it's about. It's not for me. I love music. I like when I go out, I go and I'm in the like bunker a few weeks ago. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Carlos Souffrant was playing. I thought I was gonna die on the floor. I was so
He
exhausted.
plays so fast.
Who? Carlos?
Yeah.
I play even faster.
Do you?
Oh my god. People
It's been a while, I guess.
when I play, yeah, you haven't seen me.
I don't
You're
go- I
You're
never
gonna
go
see
anywhere.
me DJ now. You're gonna be like, whoa. So I played Sublimate, and someone insisted to my friend that I had done speed, and he was like, no. It was like 7 in the morning, and he was like, she doesn't do that shit. And they were like, no, she did speed, and they were like, trust me, this is her energy.
Yeah.
And I was dead. I was so tired waiting to play.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
You know, but like I was waiting to play. It was late. You know, I was like, okay. And then once like the DJ before me played Sylvester, and everybody was doing coke, and I was like, oh, this is my drug. I'm going downstairs to dance.
Yeah,
Like, you know, I was like, Sylvester, hello. I was like excited.
What song? Do you want to funk over and over? Rock the Box.
I'm trying to remember.
Sorry.
It might have been Mighty Real or something, but
Oh.
no, it wasn't lesser known Sylvester.
Okay.
I just heard Sylvester's voice, and I was like, this is my cue. I'm gonna start dancing, and it was just like, I just went, and it was just like, it just took over me, you know. And that's what it is about going out. You don't go to stand in front of the DJ and be like, wah! You go to dance. You go to have an
Yeah.
experience, and if the DJ is good, then you now you could message them on Instagram. It's like, wow, you're great, and then it's like, that's nice. I like messages like that because I'm like, okay, cool, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Because it's
So-
always a different experience in the booth.
Yeah. So that's a good social media.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. Don't do
that's
that. Like,
pro-
don't
that's
be
progress.
ashamed to be like, oh my god, you were amazing. You know, like, oh my god, you like. Someone sent me like a long letter the other day on IG about my Panorama bar set, and I was like, whoa, okay, thanks. Like, and they were just like, you don't understand, like your mixes and I was like, okay. So it's taking me a long time to figure this out. Like, this is not like me 15 years ago. This is me 15 years. This is like a full package of like me like coming full circle. Because when I play well now, it's like I'm playing like I will keep it into the techno and house, whatever. You know what I mean? Depending where I'm playing. And then I'll just drop in some other things, and people are like, whoa. And then they're like dancing, and I keep it into this, you know, and I have it, and then I bring it back.
I'll have to check it out. I haven't.
Well, you're not going to be here for my birthday, so, but, I mean, I don't know what I'm
I
gonna do
got
for
some
my birthday.
life stuff to do.
You've got real life things to do, but next month maybe. I don't know. Well, but, you know, if I don't F off and do other things with my life, you'll get to
I'm
see
not
me.
worried. I'm not worried. I'm not going anywhere.
I mean, I might just, you know.
You'll be back. Your mother's not going anywhere.
No, I mean, like, in terms of, like, not doing music anymore.
Well,
Moving on to
I'm
other
not worried
things.
about that.
Yeah. But
Yep,
it's
yep.
nice. It's nice that people have these nice things to say about, and it's nice that Farce has survived the blog 2000s thing. Only because I've paid it, and the name has just, it's stuck because, you
Yeah.
know, Anastasia was like, I didn't want to name my show Farce. I was like, I don't know what to name my show on BCR, and she's like, Farce, it's your brand. And I looked at her like, I remember thinking brand. I was like cringing, like, brand? I don't like that. Like, I think you should do brands for other things. But for me personally, I don't think that's music. That's just me. That's just who I am. You know what I mean? I just think that's...
I don't know. I don't know.
If you have a label, whatever. But you know what I mean? But that was also 5 years ago. So I feel like we're changing. Things are changing. Everybody's trying to figure out what they're doing.
But the thing about too is a brand. It also can just be art. Like a logo is like a cool design.
Yeah,
or
so
whatever.
Farce became this thing. Like,
Yeah,
it's
so
not,
it's-
and it's
it's
borrowed.
cool.
It's not. I didn't think it up. It's like, it's a bird from a Poison Girls anarcho-punk record, because I needed a logo, and I didn't ever think this blog will go anywhere. I didn't think I would travel. I didn't think I would go to Europe. I just was like, I just have a blog. The people follow it. People message me. People, I'm posting music all the time, and then it just became a radio show, and then it's like, so moving to Europe really did change my life in a lot of ways. I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah.
Forest is very. I'm trying to revamp it and do other things with it. So, I'm, it's
I
nice.
think we need to bring like a blogs back and forums and
Yeah, do it things that because I've paid.
MP3 blog.
That's what Forest was. It was an MP3 blog, and it was an RSS.
But bring it back is what
I'm gonna. Yeah, I am. It's still there, but she's gonna be 13. She is gonna be 13.
So you're still hosting it, paying for hosting.
I've been paying for it for 13 years. It's crazy. I'm like, what am I doing? But I host a lot of things on it, and people recognize that, and they realize now in the age of like, everyone is hosting your things. I've been, like, I have my own email. I have my own, I have my Gmail. But
so you plan to continue on with Farst and into the future.
Yeah.
But you're not quite sure what the direction will take yet. I
know what direction it will take.
But
But we have to execute it. It's like this whole thing of like. The blog is in its like 2006 state, and I gotta revamp it and make it like a newer thing, but like also keep it like archives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just kind of bring it back to what it was supposed to be, because it was supposed to be a podcast.
Yeah.
And it was a iTunes RSS feed, and then people could subscribe, and I would look at FeedBurner and see my feed counts go up and down. So I would see like people would subscribe, and what you would get is this MP3 song of like me describing. It wasn't like it was MP3 blogs, but I would describe like nerdy things that were rare. This is like the backstory of this thing, and people would be like, "Wow, cool!" And then the mixes I would make, which were mostly mixtapes, that I would send to people abroad.
So you're gonna maybe redesign the site and have all this old stuff on there, but is there gonna be like a change? Do you have an idea for new content?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do like I wanted to do a podcast series for a while, podcasts like mixes, but not from just musicians.
What is it? So there'll be talking also?
No, just like mixes from people, but all kinds of people.
Yeah.
And then I want to do a podcast, but it's not going to be called Farce. It might be like Farce Presents, blah, blah, blah. And it's going to be talking about other things that like other people aren't talking about. So, because I feel like that is something that's part of my life that I haven't really tapped into yet. You know what I mean? The radio thing, and like I was telling you, Angie Martinez in her video, kind of like this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really want to do it. So much DIY on my own.
It took me like Francois from The Lot helped me like a lot, because I started.
Yeah.
Like I started looking. I wanted to do it for a while, and I was like, finally, like, okay, I'm gonna start doing this. And I started checking like, what camera do I need? What software do I need? Like, how do I do this? And everywhere you read it, like someone has a different opinion, because it's pretty new to be able to like have these cameras and do a thing. And then I was like, oh wait, I just asked Francois, and he helped me a lot. So but it still took me. I had to like buy a new computer and
and it takes money.
Yeah,
it's a lot of like I don't have that. You know what I mean? It's like it's not it's a lot of. I already paid a lot of out of pocket just to keep something up that people like, and just I don't even know. I just have it up, and there's been times I wanted to take it down. I can't figure out how to take it down because it's a WordPress thing, and I'm just like like whatever, just leave it up.
Yeah.
And there's been times where I've like not paid for SoundCloud or just was like fuck this.
Yeah.
And people have been like, what happened? I stream your mixes on at work or like at my cafe that I own. And I'm like, whoa, okay.
I like SoundCloud.
I do too. I mean,
I don't like when people talk bad about SoundCloud.
Me either. I mean, now I don't. I like. There was a time where it was annoying.
Just don't follow the people you don't like. What's so hard?
I know. SoundCloud is good. It's a really good format. It's also like another like way you can do things on your own. You know, I mean, obviously a lot of people have
really
been birthed.
like, how much is €100 a month or a year or whatever, 120?
Yeah. It's not that bad.
Much money, and you can put as much as you want on there.
I have a lot of things on there, and it's just like crazy because it's not just.
It seems like it's better lately that it's like the riffraff is gone, or maybe I just didn't follow a lot of people or something.
I don't. I just go on there and check my stats and post my things, and then I'm like,
how many listens did I get this week?
Well, I'm just like, who's like stalking? Like who? It's more like I'm just. it's because there are people that listen, and then I'm like,
Like,
it's like,
who's
hey,
that? Why are they listening?
kind of, but there are people that are like, that are frequent listeners, and I'm like, oh, I just like I like to look, and I like to look at what countries and stuff. That's always cool.
Yeah.
And I used to do that on Farce. I used to look at like, there was one, I remember there was a time I tweeted about this like 5-6 years ago. There was someone that was like streaming music from my website, like MP3s, from the Department of like paying out retirees in the UK or something, like some ridiculous thing. And I was like, what the heck is this? I was like, somebody in the UK really likes to listen to some old, MP3s on my website. I was like, I like to look at stats because that's what lets you know who's
keeps you going.
Lets you know who's listening, where they like all in the world. It's like not just, it gives you an idea now. Like SoundCloud will tell you the age group range, if it's accurate. It's crazy.
Who knows? Yeah, it's. I mean
it's
that's the thing is like, it's just this touchy relationship with the internet. Like you love it a lot because you kind of grew with it also, and you can see like the.
Well, I like the things where I don't have to hear other people's shit chatter. Like I talk a lot, but I'm also like, filter me. I don't care.
Just tune it out.
There's just some people just go too much. They just like need to just get off the internet. They don't have to post every single thought they have on the internet. It's really just like you're from a different generation, because I mean, really, I outgrew that phase. You know. Yeah. But it was a different time too, where you would be posting on Facebook to your community. Yeah. And now it's just like there's no community. It's everybody. It's like the whole internet, even if you think it's private. People have lost their jobs being racist and crazy because they thought, I'm just posting to my friends, and then somebody's like, haha, hey, you thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's happened so fast.
It's all changing. It's 2020, guys.
I just stayed back.
It's a new decade.
Yeah, we're flying cars.
We're gonna be in flying cars soon.
Maybe at least self-driving cars. But so, did we miss anything? I don't
know. You brought me on here to talk about me, or I don't know what, but music or something.
Yeah.
How I got into it, and
didn't we?
I guess we did.
I'm not sure.
I guess. I mean, I'm just here.
But did we miss a major point or anything like that you would want to tell people like?
I don't know what the point. So what is the point of your show?
No, is to have a conversation and have people feel like they're involved in the conversation, and possibly learn about how, people that are doing stuff they might want to do themselves, how they got there, and what it takes, or what things not to do or to do.
Just be yourself. Be yourself, and what I want to say is be yourself. Be nice to people. Be grateful. Really, like this is something like in life. Just be grateful. Things might not be the way you think they are, and you might have some weird times where you don't know what's going on, and it's like really isolating, and you might not have companionship, but like that's what gets you where you're going. Like you look back and you're like, wow, that's crazy that time, and then you like look back and you're like, yeah, that sounds so stupid and corny, but sometimes things are not the way you want them to be. And then other people will be like, you're just like in your own head. You're living your life. Like me all the time. I'm constantly like, I'm just doing my thing. And people are like, you're killing it. And I'm like, really? Okay. Yeah. I guess I am. I'm just like living my, it's not, I'm not doing it for ego purposes. I'm doing it because I like music, and, I like DJing, and I don't know. I like getting in there and doing my thing and then leaving, Or like
sometimes you don't leave afterward.
You don't leave, but you know what I mean, like getting out of the booth and being. And another thing, etiquette. We need to learn some etiquette in the DJ booth. Like you don't just. I feel like that was something that was lost or something recently.
There's always been bad etiquette.
I've been very lucky, or maybe I'm just calling people out and dragging them in the booth, literally. But like you don't. First of all, you don't. If the next DJ needs to come on, and you're hogging all the decks, you need to put on another song that's really long, and do not have silence unless you have a microphone.
Here's my etiquette is 30 minutes before, say hello, tell the other DJ you're there.
Yes.
Ask them
if not
if
30
everything,
or 15.
Whatever. Sometime before.
Introduce yourself.
Let them know you're there, and if everything is on schedule.
Yeah.
Are we on schedule? What time do you want to switch over? I'm okay if there's a little...
How many more songs do you need? Yeah. When it's like 5 minutes to the damn thing, 10 minutes.
Have a little meeting and say hello.
No, that's something that happened to me recently, and I was not happy. The person left me with silence. Yeah. And it was awkward. And they were like, Sybil's going to kill it. And I was like, you don't have a microphone, fool. Like, what is this? Like, do you know how to talk into your headphones? Because that's... you don't, because you're not from that age. But, like, I was like,
But so they had like a set list and it was over.
and they were hogging all the decks, and I kept trying to be like, I need one more song, and they were like, just ignored me, and I was like, this is not cool. And then I texted.
I'm always scared with the USB things now, so I like switch back to records.
I mean, yeah, they're always
Because I don't know which one I can take out and put in, and
or emergency loop bullshit that happens all the time. It's like it's scary. I'm like, man, I wish I could drag all my records around, but half of them are in Europe, but half of them are here.
Stay in New York, and then I can just carry my records.
Yeah, fuck flying around with that shit. Like,
But
sorry, I'm cursing. Are we not allowed to curse?
no, we are. I just try. I try not to.
Unfiltered.
I try not to because there's better words.
Sorry, I'm back home, so I'm just really.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
Unfiltered.
Don't worry. Okay, but learn some etiquette and
Really, please, guys. Like, this is another thing. Just be nice to people. Really. I mean, you just don't be all about yourself. That's just so selfish. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That is like, whenever I meet people like that, I'm like, okay, I don't ever want to play with you again. I don't really respect you.
But this is like life stuff, you know? Like
that is.
If you meet somebody and they just start telling you about themselves and they don't say like, how are you? Where are you from? And
yeah.
ask you some questions. It's always a little weird.
Yeah, it's just like it's really transcends into the booth, I guess.
But has it always been like that? That's what I'm saying.
I've never had it that bad. I really feel like I was always like, anywhere I've played, people have been really cool and been like, I've checked in before, or they check in with me, and I'm like, hey, I can play this, or you can, how much time do you need? Okay, like, or this person's not ready yet. The sound person will come and say, oh, they need like 30 more minutes. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Thank goodness I have some USB sticks. 'Cause if I had records, I'd be playing side B and all like compilations are lifesavers, like, oh, I miss
bootlegs.
Yeah. I mean,
those bootlegs with like 6 tracks.
How do you feel about edits coming back? Disco edits.
I never cared. I think it's part of the culture. People can do whatever they want.
You remember when there's someone we know who has moved to Mexico, who's also the same, heritage as me. He hated edits back in the day. He hated them. Now,
well, Franz has pretty strong opinions.
But I feel like he doesn't anymore. And I feel like it's kind of like it's come back, but like a lot of these edits are not real edits. You're like listening to this is not anything different than the original song.
Well, I think.
I mean, I love the 2000s edits. I'm happy that I can play those records that people gave me, that I had no use for back then. Now.
But I think for me, my perspective is that after pressing records and putting them out, like I know that these people didn't make money off of them. Like that's the thing is like everybody was like they're making money off someone else's music. I don't think they made any money.
Nobody ever does that to make money. It's to make it like I have edits.
I guess they made it to get gigs. I have
quote edits. You know what I mean?
They just made the song longer so they could play it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you do. So you can play music longer.
Yeah.
And then you put it to vinyl or whatever, and so you can get gigs or whatever. And it's like some people have been like, "You have edits? We want to put them out." I'm like, "No." No, they're not they're for me, and I don't want to put them out. I'm not trying to do that.
People can do whatever they want. I know,
but I'm not trying to. Yeah. If people want them, I would release them on Bandcamp or something. But they're not like amazing. They're just maybe in 10 years people will be like, "Wow, this is great." But it's like I don't.
I mean, I don't know. That's the other thing too. Is like this. The music industry is changed so much now that I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like something like that. You still made it. You know what I mean? Even though it's someone else's music, you put your fingerprint on it. Should you be able to sell it? I don't know. It's just that's like a whole nother.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable about selling it. Like I'm just kind of like.
I like these people. They put their like Bandcamp or YouTube or Bandcamp. I think is good because you can have this like free or pay what you want kind of thing, and I think that's a cool model. Yeah. Like if somebody wants to give you money for it, cool.
I mean, I really love like some edits from that time. There's like one person from Iceland that I like their edits, and then they never. It took forever to finally. They never put their name up on Discogs, so I never knew who they were, and now you can kind of figure out who it is. And I think that's cool because you don't want to be like recognized for it. You're just you're just editing some track to be like more being so you can play it out in a dance setting. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like you're playing it in your house.
I think it's always been a part. A remix edit to me is the same. Like it's always been a part of you want to make it to where you can play it. Fine, do it whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the thing that people were getting mad at is they were saying they were making money off of it.
Nobody makes money off of music
But I
anymore.
guess they got gigs, so that's a little bit of an argument. But I don't. Who cares?
Well, some people have to live off gigs, you know?
Yeah.
Like when I was in Europe, I can't work. My visa says DJ on it. Still, guys, this is not a joke. It's like fun. When I come back from the airport, they're like cracking jokes, and I'm like, it's not funny. It's painful. Like,
no, but there's a much bigger culture in Europe.
yeah, but it's also
it's possible.
It's also right now so
it's pretty saturated.
Saturated, that's the word. It's very saturated, and it's overwhelming, and it's like people don't know what to do. They're overwhelmed. Like the agents, the promoters, they're like, you know, it's just.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Take what you can get. I don't know what the
I mean,
is.
I always tell the young or whomever is having a good ride right now, enjoy it, because you don't know when it's going to end, and don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up prematurely. Don't be a dick. Sorry, just don't. Like, don't show up and be a jerk. Yeah. Don't be unpleasant to these promoters. Don't be unpleasant at dinners. Be nice. If things are really messed up, then you should be a jerk. You know what I mean? But also still be nice. Be diplomatic. I guess I know how to be diplomatic. This is, you asked me about day jobs, and it's like, I know how to be diplomatic.
Yeah.
I'm like a fixer. You know, like I come in and I fix shit. Like I'm like, why is this all messed up? Okay. And they're like, wow, let's promote you. And I'm like, wait, slow down there. You got to give me more money than that. So, but, you know, anyway.
Yeah. But just so, like, we've spoken for 2 hours now. Just
yeah.
So you know what's going on. I mean, that's what I was trying to ask you if we missed anything, and you came back full circle to be nice to people.
I really have to, because I feel like people are fake nice, and there's this undercurrent of like, just like people just being annoyed because people are fake nice, and there's just like fake, and it's always been like that, but right now especially I feel like I don't know.
I think it's just so amplified with the internet that
it's amplified
we
because
we all need to step back. And
because you don't know. The internet makes you think like people are always thinking, oh, this person, this, and it's like maybe they're not. Maybe it's just the internet. You know, you never know.
Whenever you run into your friends in real life,
it's different.
It's always fine.
It's fine, and then you just have these acquaintances, and you're like, who are you? Okay, what you? No, I mean like, not like. Ugh, I just said that. That sounds so obnoxious, but like, like in the sense of like you're in your head like, I don't understand what that was on the internet, and then like when your friends, it's like you know what I mean. Yeah. And it's like I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it doesn't matter. It's all fake.
We're still trying to figure it out. It's
been, the internet's been big part of our lives, and now it's confusing as hell.
And we still don't know.
And we're here on the internet.
Yeah, I know.
We're literally recording through the internet.
It's crazy.
Isn't it crazy?
Yes. Well, I'm gonna. I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to ask me? Any other things you want to put me on the spot? So my mom.
No, I just one day I want to meet your mom. She seems cool.
Well, she's right across the river.
What's her name?
Elsie.
Elsie. Hello, Elsie.
Hi, Elsie. Me and Jacob.
You think she's gonna make it to the end?
Yeah, she'll probably skip. Me and Jacob used to shout out. Me and Jacob used to shout out my mom on East Village Radio, and she'd be like, "I'm not your friend," but now she loves that shit. She texts me like, "I'm not your friend." Like.
So you're not supposed to give shout-outs to your mom?
No, she's cool. She's like happy. She's like proud. She like brags about me and shit.
All right, good.
That's cool.
She's always doing the best for you.
Yeah, parents do.
All right. Well, Sybil Jason, check her out. She's DJing all over the place, and a lot in Brooklyn these days. She's a hot commodity here. I don't know.
I'm just Sybil. I'm just back. I'm back, and everybody's like, "Oh crap, we need to book you."
Sybil Jason. Not just Sybil. That's somebody else.
Yeah, that's somebody else. the house singer.
Don't forget.
The house singer. That's who we're talking about.
Oh, those records are so good.
I know, right? We need to bring them back. Okay, so yeah, I'm around, guys. You know, I'm in New York City. I'm back.
Thank you very much for coming. This was Talk Radio with Sybil Jason.
And this is sponsored by?
Nobody.
Will Burnett. You gotta talk about your sponsors.
I don't have any sponsors. I'm still working on that.